Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
sweet. Atlas, can you give me some comms, bro?
Check, mic check, 1, 2.
Yeah, that should be
Hey,
fine.
MVGL studio, welcome to the podcast,
Right, ready to
brother.
kick off when you
Ford
are,
as well.
Yeah.
Podcast, my man. How are you, my brother?
Yeah,
Good
shoot,
to
man.
see
Go
you.
for it.
Yeah. All right, so guys, hello and welcome to the very first Forward as One podcast. My name is Dan. We're joined. We are very professional. We're very professional. Guys, welcome everybody. It's been a real pleasure to have streamed patch 12 so far. Guys, welcome everyone. Currently we have Takals, we've got Gunvash, we've got Graham, Prophet, we've got Atlas and Sea Warfighter joining us on today's podcast, guys. The very first ever Forward as One. So we're probably going to jump straight into it, guys. We do have a nice little schedule that we're going to stick to tonight. And let's start with patch 12 so far. So for those of you that are looking at the itinerary, okay, we've got the tasks, guys. Favorite tasks and why? Go. Let's start it off.
None. I hate that. I think for me, the introduction of taking out the scab bosses in order was a good move. At least one of the better tasks they brought into this patch point 12. I mean, there's obviously going to go on to our least favorite ones, but I think it's bringing into line the future tasks when the game gets bigger and bigger and the stories become more complete. Taking out these enemies, these scab bosses might have underlying reasons and subtasks as well. So I like those. It's pretty good.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
Did you say favorite and least favorite or just favorite?
Let's start off with the favorites for now.
Since
I don't
point
have
12
any, I
or
don't
since
think.
ever?
Patch 12. So from start of patch 12 till today, what was your favorite task or favorite couple of tasks?
Actually, still the one with the golden zippo. I love that one quest involves doing multiple things on one map. It adds to the tension. It adds to you staying in a raid longer, planning your movement, make a route in your head that you want to take, and acting to that, and also really not rushing it like a fool and really waiting for the opportunity. Can I go to place A, grab the thing? Can I go to place B? Is place B where I have to drop the thing? Free, or do you have to watch the area? I really like doing multiple things in one raid and not just go pick up and bring back.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that one. I like doing multiple things on one map.
You know, on a similar note, but slightly different at the same time, I was going to say my favorite one is going into that customs office, grabbing those documents and taking them into factory, because it still has that same level of complexity. Yeah, delivery from the past. That's right. I just can't call me crazy. That quest has given me so much pain and heartache, but at the same time, I think it's one of the more enjoyable ones because not only do you know after you've successfully retrieved it that you have to extract with it, but you also know that you have to survive with it again. And the stakes are just so high because if you die on that factory run, you got to go back to customs. And, that's generally a quest done in the beginning of a wipe. And with that, you don't necessarily have all the gear to be spending to keep running two map, string of quests over and over and over. So I really enjoy it.
For sure. It definitely brings more of a dynamic to the game. Definitely. There's a lot of tasks in the game that are literally just go here, do this, go there, do that. Kill 1,000 scavs with fucking shrimp. So yeah, it's definitely. I think the fact that that's come up. I think what we're sort of getting at is that tasks where you have to do multiple things, tasks where it's quite dynamic and makes you move around the map and even cross different maps as well. With that task item still in your possession, I think it definitely ups the stakes a little bit, definitely ups the ante. And it's a tricky task as well. There's a lot of people that get quite far into the wipe and still have trouble with, the further you get into the wipe, the harder that task is to do, of course, because, everyone is more geared the days that go by. Yeah, very nice. So that's the favorite task, guys. Least favorite tasks and why? What task has really grinded your gears in patch 12?
Just 10 kills in factory.
I'm not
What
a fan of
language is
factory.
that?
That's Gremlin. That's what that is. But yeah,
Is it
no,
not a fan of factory?
I hate factory. Like the 10 kills in factory, I've still not done it now, and I'm level 44.
I think some of the worst ones that I see, it's not necessarily any one quest, but it's all the ones that have completely, it's like not grounded in lore or anything. It's just some random fucking thing that you have to do, like put on a scav vest and a balaclava and go kill 45 killas in a fucking ditch somewhere. It's fucking stupid. Like they need to kind of kill down the non-lore or non-RPG elements of the game, I think.
Hey there, Wolf.
Stop
Wolf
flexing.
How's it going, my brother? Thank you for
Dude.
hopping in, my dude.
Put me off.
He's the biggest one. He's like, "Oh, look at me."
The problem is he's the biggest one on my screen,
Mine
and
too.
he's twice the size.
I just sit back and
I
comfortable.
don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't because I'm not doing anything.
Just get a raid on in the background.
One of my least favorite quests is the Contamination Service, where you have to wear that 3M body armor, the white one with a respirator, and kill about like 30 scavs on interchange. That's such a pain in the
Yeah,
ass, dude.
I've got 1 out of 30, and that's as far as I've got. I was like, I'm not doing this, bro. Fuck off.
It's such a pain in the ass, man. And I mean, at the state in the game where everybody already affords good gear because it's actually a pretty late one from Ragman. So, dude, it's just a pure grind, man. I don't like stuff like that. Going in and take your 3M, take a Makarov, kill one guy only to get killed again. Because bringing good gear doesn't make much sense. Because having a 3M is almost the same as having none armor in the game.
Yeah,
I
he's
would say,
practically
It's the
naked.
best armor in the game, especially when it's on the scav.
See, I'm confused
make a good
why
point.
the Mosin mission line's still in the game, because people hate the gun
Yeah.
itself. And
Yeah.
let's be honest here, it's firing a high caliber, high velocity round that's going to kill you in one shot. We're not arguing that. So they brought in 2 new ammo types on this on the pit, but the fact there's loads of missions for one gun, there's no other gun in the game really that does that for that weapon system. It's really strange why it's still in game, and a lot of things are in game because it's a placeholder for further things in the future. But I don't know why they can't just mix up a bit, have one mission for that gun, then go on something else entirely different, because it encourages the use of weapon system that I
Warpig,
find
everything for you, my
a
brother.
bit annoying.
Everything
To
for
say
you,
the
my
least,
man.
when you get killed by that, and you're like, a naked dude has killed you, Mosin, you're fully geared, and you could also argue that's a fair thing. He shot you in the face, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Less
Yeah,
encouraging of a weapon system that's overly used already is, I think, a good plan.
Honestly, what would fix it, dude, in my opinion, is a lot of these quests are locked behind, like that quest where you got to go to customs with a shotgun and a scav vest and a Ushanka. That's like the last quest from Skier. So it's like some of these should have been released a lot sooner or like made available to
Hey,
us
Vash, thanks
so
so much
that
for
we
again,
can
man.
like.
Oh shit, my bad.
That's so rude.
So,
That's so
Wrong
rude.
keyboard.
dude.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But just so that like for example, next patch, what I'm hoping they do is immediately from Ragman, you can get the kill Killa 100 times quests, because then by the month and a half, you without even trying, you're already at 50 killas. You know what I'm saying? So it just is more of a natural, or like Prophet was saying, like take away the Mosin, like 10 scabs with the Mosin, make it 150 scabs with any gun. Let them unlock it at level 2. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to just pick and choose the guns you want to use rather than being forced 153s and shit. It's just terrible.
I mean, one idea that I also said that on the last podcast we had, like the idea that I personally would love to see a Tarkov shooter quest kill a scav with every gun once. Or
I like that.
Kill
I
a
like
team
that.
Pretty
with,
cool.
with every gun once. That would be so much fun.
I don't like it when they lock tasks behind a specific gun, the Pacific gun or whatever you call it. Yeah, I hate that. Why not just do it like a 7.62 caliber weapon, so you can use what you want to use
Hey
rather than
dude,
having to use
Savage
an
Vet,
AKM on
welcome to
shoreline.
the stream, my brother. Thank you very
It
much
would
for
be
hopping
nice
in.
to have
How
more
are you
freedom
doing, Savage
with a lot of
Vet?
those kind of tasks for sure. And I love
Thank
the
you
idea
for
of
being
them
here
being
with us today, my dude. It's good to
opened
see
up
you here.
earlier as well. Like
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time getting traders to level 2, 3, 4, and then all of a sudden, hey, use this bog standard bare bones weapon that you never used since the first day of the patch. Go and use that to kill geared guys. Like, why are you asking me to do that? Like, it's just frustrating. I don't think it's challenging for me personally. or it is challenging, but not from a gameplay perspective. It turns more into a grind than a challenge, if that makes sense. But yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. Setup is a task that is mentioned a lot. And having the killer task came halfway through patch 12, to be fair. So we'll see when we hit patch 13 or whenever the next wipe's going to be. We'll see if that is then added at the start, because if that's kill killer 100 times and it's added at the very start, like you say, it's going to be a much more natural sort of thing rather than like, hey, you've just finished everything. Oh, by the way, here's 100 raids that you need to go and do.
Is that task blocking the way to get the cap container or not?
No.
I don't think it does.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
because people already had the cap container before they added
So I
it.
suppose the addition right now is a bit of fun, but that certainly block the way. It'd be rather irritating. But like you said there at the start of the wipe or the patch, it'd be purely natural. You do it as you play the game. You wouldn't have to focus that mission, would you particularly?
Yeah, I think only Atlas and I are having the Kappa, and both of us never had to finish the killer quest first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm only at 14 killers and I still have cap. So
Yeah, it's the first patch.
Okay.
I haven't gone for the kappa yet.
I'll go for Kappa when the game releases, and it ain't gonna get taken off me. 'Cause that is,
you're right. The
Good point.
frustration and tears that came with it. I don't know, man.
Oh,
Some nights.
Ridiculous.
Also, a question
Exactly.
that I find it, or that I think is worth mentioning is the bullshit quest, because this quest is literally bullshit. I mean, I get it
Yeah.
if you're a team. All right, this quest makes sense, but for instance, I'm most of the time a solo player. That's a pain in the ass quest to do. Like, you have to go to dorms. You are not allowed to kill any scavs. You already have scavs in there. All you have to do is like sit outside dorms for like 10 minutes until the raid ends. Pray to the Tark, of course, there's nobody that's in there left, and then put these things in, right?
Is
So-
bullshit task where you have to not fire around, not kill a scav?
No,
No,
kill
no,
a
that's
scav,
kill
kill a
scavs.
scav.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah.
Dan got me and
Hey,
four
Blue
of his
Shark dude,
shepherds from his
welcome to the
Discord
stream,
to
my
help me
brother.
out.
How are you, my friend?
Yeah,
Good
I
to
was
have
saying
you.
I got
Oh, yeah.
friends to do it.
I literally said, guys, I'm gonna do every task as natural as possible, and then bullshit came up, and I was like, now what? I was like, well, I got caught.
To be fair,
I need to ask my friends for this.
the developers always said that this was intended to be a team play game. I don't necessarily think that they should strictly design it around that. There's plenty of people that can only play solo or prefer to play solo, and that's fine. But even still, that's still a task that you can actually go into a raid and accomplish, whether it's on your own or with a team. That's going to determine how difficult it is for you, but it's still something that you can go and actively work on. Whereas my least favorite quest, something like Healthcare Privacy Part 4, get your passive soft skill up to a certain level that you can't really do
Yeah.
anything with.
Psycho Sniper.
Yes.
Now there are tasks that revolve around your soft skills that are determined by how much you use, say, a weapon. That's different. If you have to get your sniper level up, for example, that's
Sorry to
something
hear
you
that, my
can
brother, Blue
actively
Shark.
go into the game and do. I'm
Sorry
going
to
to
hear that, my
choose
brother.
to use more bolt
Have a good
action
stay, my friend.
rifles, right?
Didn't you complete the book?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
did.
I think that's
did.
fun
I
enough.
can't
It's not
wait, but we were
the
lucky.
most
dude.
interesting, but it's more interesting than leveling
we were
a
lucky,
passive soft skill
McAndre.
that
And
you
I think-
can't have
Dude,
any control over.
we
Really,
just got very, very
realistically,
lucky,
not
man.
like
And we
waited a long
choosing
time
before
to
we
go
were able
in
to get
with
in
the
there,
bolt
right?
action. I think that's different, and that's why that's my least favorite.
Yeah, good points.
Yeah.
Very, very
Very good
good
points.
points indeed. Very good. Right. Let's move on then. Let's go on to the weapons. So we've seen a number of new weapons being added to the game during patch 12. Most notably for me, the MDR 308, the SR25, the P90, and the 5.7 pistol. Aside from those guys,
But Dan, what about the 205?
Yeah.
It's a great gun, that is.
That thing, fucking
It's
366.
Hey,
sounds
it sounds good.
It's
Yeah.
It does sound good. Of course, the T5000 as well. Not to be, not to forget that. But guys, what is your go-to weapon from the new selection we've seen over the past couple of months?
Well, I've used the MDR and the P90 and the 5.7 a lot. I've not really used the SR25 yet, or any of the others, and they're really good. I really like them, to be fair.
The P90 is
Like,
really strong.
Yeah, it's really strong.
The P90 is badass, man. Like I was
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna use this
fucking-
for a meme, but it's actually really good. I was like, okay, yeah, sweet.
The 5.7
What
with the
ammo do you
rifle
guys
helmet.
run in the P90?
What's it called? It's the
193.
slowest one. It's weird. It's like subsonic, but it's really high pen. It's really good. 193.
Yeah.
193.
193.
I have bad luck using the P90. I've been sticking with the MP7 APSX Classic. 5.7 would be my new favorite gun, but I've been using the SA58. But the thing that I'd like to point out is that you guys noticed the new the Lantac blast mitigation device and the adapter.
that thing's insane.
It's not a new gun, but it makes the M1A and the SA58 a little bit more viable. You know, that's what I've been mostly relying on. I like it.
I think that's the third. I think that's going to be the first attachment to be nerfed. Let's say because it is
You think
really
so?
good, but it's a bit too
I don't
good.
think
It brings you're getting the M1A down to like 39 recoil. It's I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a bit
I don't think they're going to nerf it because they didn't nerf the M4. What's it called? Muzzle or what's it called?
Jailbreak.
Jailbreak. Yeah. So I don't see them nerfing it honestly. I mean, they seem to want people to be able to nerf or get their recoil down.
I feel you. I think, yeah. I mean, that takes us back to a point that we spoke to before about like a minimum. Let's say like 7.62 NATO weapons can only go to this because there becomes a point. I think that it gets to the stage where it's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's got all these great mods on it. It's a fantastically built weapon, but it's like, come on, bro. It's a 7.62 NATO round. You know, is there a line? Like, are we getting weapon recoil too low? Do you think?
I think you got to balance off realism to the game itself. Like, I don't know, the M4 builds, you build an M4, it's all pretty much be exactly the same. Barrel length's going to change certain things. I think try and keep it realistic, but if it's stupid, like a freaking laser beam, combined with the RPG elements of the game where you can rank up your recoil control to a point with modding it can be like a pinpoint. It's ridiculous. So I think, especially with 7.6 weapons, when they bring the LMGs into game, they're going to have to be careful of that and balance it out by you must have a bipod down, you must rest on something else. Because you can stand up with the maxed out recoil control, maxed out stat weapon itself, and lasing people with 7.62 rounds.
One side of dumps to the other, just
it's going to be
laser beaming it.
crazy. 100 round belts and stuff. It's going to be, they're going to balance it out a bit, I think, and think about what they're doing.
We really do need working bipods in this game now.
Yep, definitely, absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, it's quite a simple mechanic.
Hopefully
There's
they
efficient in the
implement
game.
them well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
One guy.
I mean, take note of Squad. That game there, how they use mounts in that game.
For sure.
Yeah, the mounts work really well. The bipods are great. They make a huge difference. I think the bipod, like, so if you shoot a high caliber LMG without a bipod, your gun is going to be pointed straight up in the air real quick. But if you're on a bipod, gosh, it is a laser beam, as it should be. But back onto Tarkov though, I think the proper implementation would be really good because everybody knows that static targets
we
in
have
Tarkov,
time, McAndre.
you're just asking to get a headshot. So it is gonna, I don't think it's gonna be overpowered because you do become a much more easy target when you are stationary like that. But you do get the good recoil control on a very high caliber, high fire rate with good, sustainability from a belt of ammunition. So I think it'll be a fair trade-off, and I'm really excited to see it. However, back onto the previously listed weapons, my favorite's actually going to be the 5.7. We already had an SR25, right? We already had semi-automatic 308s,
True.
right?
Yeah.
The
Yes,
SAS, the
McAndre is going to be
M1A,
in my
the
vault.
MDR 308. That just sounds like the SA58, right? I mean, I know they're all
I'm
very,
actually
very
going to
cool
upload
guns, and I
that
was
to my
very
YouTube,
excited to see them. Same with the
channel,
P90. We had the MP7. We had other high fire rate, high pen weapons, but the 5.7, I think, changed the game the most. I've seen more people run just a bolt action and a
Yes,
pistol
that's what I'm going
than I
to
ever
do.
have
That's
ever
what
before.
I'm going to do, McAndre.
It used to
Going to
be,
do that.
bolt action and your M4. I see a lot more people comfortable running with just a pistol as their sidearm to their long range rifle. And I think that's a really cool thing because it has better pen than even the AP 9mm, if I'm not
Hey,
mistaken.
Nintendo, welcome to the
And
stream, my brother.
I
How are you
think it
doing? Thank you very
brings
much for hopping into the
pistols
channel, my
into
brother.
a much
Good
more
to see you today,
viable
my friend.
position within Tarkov, which I was really excited to see.
Totally agree. I played the 5.7 Silence a couple of times. It's freaking reliable. It's pretty accurate, and in my opinion, the best pistol currently in the game.
I mean, that pistol's real to life, isn't it? That gun is notorious around the world, and police forces hate it because it's armor piercing and they hate it because the army people normally wearing police force around the world, America, where is like 9mm or 0.45 maybe defense against that, but the FN uses specific rounds to pen armor and kill targets. Obviously, shoot somebody, you're gonna die most likely. But the ammo is as it is phenomenal. I think it's a good addition to the game. Makes it a bit different rather than Glock meta as was before.
Yeah, it's a very, very small caliber, but it is technically, I believe, a rifle cartridge, and it does pierce very, very well. And I think Tarkov needed that. A powerful pistol.
When are the revolvers coming? I want to have my 38 Magnum.
They're gonna be so trash though.
I mean, it's gonna be one shot, isn't it? It's gonna have to be like the recoil's be insane. So one shot, back down again, re-aim. If you can fan the hammer, that'd be amazing in CQB. But like in
John Wayne at the
We're
hip.
going to Smith and Wesson 50.
Realistic. You can fan the hammer. You've played what's that other game? It's out recently, last few years. You can fan the hammer in that game.
Red Dead Redemption.
No.
You think you're going to be able to fan the hammer with a 50 caliber?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine. It's Tarkov, man. High recoil control. Boom. Sorted.
I guess you're going to have Ghost Freak out there fucking tapping everything in the chest with the 50 cal.
Exactly.
Just put a bipod on it, you sound.
12 times.
Speaking of revolvers, guys, the Chiappa Rhino has been confirmed for a good while. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Maybe it's the implementation of like the system because it's completely new with like the cylindrical chamber and whatnot. I'm not 100% sure on the terminology. But the Rhino has been, as far as I'm aware, been confirmed. It's all been modeled. It comes in a variety of different lengths, most likely different calibers as well. So those of you that are looking forward to revolvers, give that a Google, have a look, see what you think. It should be pretty
Tarkov
cool.
Wiki is a good place for it.
Indeed, yeah. Tarkov Wiki, !Wiki in the chat. Get on that and go check it out. Guys, the armor ammo
thank you very much
meta.
for
Let's
the
move on
host.
to
Welcome
the next
everybody
topic.
joining
The
us
armor
for the channel. It's good
slash
to see you guys
ammo
here.
no.
meta. This is something that is a real topic and a half. AP ammo price increase, first of all. Guys, no,
I mean,
please carry on.
This will breach onto flea market anyway, because flea market is getting abused. That's a separate topic, but that's the reason why it's increasing in price, I believe. I could be wrong, but this key is doing itself, but it's increasing the entire time because the abuse, in my opinion, of the flea market. But I've always said in the game, though, that the best ammo in the game potentially could be that found in raid only purely. And that then would lead to a better economy in game in the first place.
Or craft only even.
Or craft only, and rewards you for looting, increases progression in the game, actually applies more reason to actually go into raids and loot certain stuff. But I would like to see iteration of the ammo price increase. Maybe keep it at that potentially.
That would be amazing.
Revolting the flea market, also
amazing,
have more found in raid stuff and construction bits, like making the M95 rounds and M61 rounds already made at Workbench in game.
I think if you-
But would you say the same for armor then?
Yeah,
Would you
so you're going to run into that issue.
Your armors, right? So you'd
Yeah.
have to balance that in
Completely
for
agree.
it to work properly. Otherwise, everybody would just be buying the best armor. No one would have the best ammo except for those who have worked hard and stashed
The
for a
sweaties.
while.
Yeah.
And then you would just have everybody running around as tanks, sponging up all the bullets you can imagine. Which brings me to my point about the armor ammo meta. I think it could be a lot worse. What I want to see changed the most about the armor and ammo meta is the effect that low pen rounds have on high tier armor. I want more aim punch. I want a hell of a lot more aim punch. If you're hitting somebody with a 7.62 by 39, PS
a shotgun,
round,
dude,
low
point
pen,
blank,
or a shotgun, or a slug, or whatever it is, I'm totally fine with the current damage to body that is currently happening in the game. You're not really doing much to the guy if they're wearing a fort and you're shooting 7.62, 39 PS. But that guy should not be able to line up an easy one tap on your head when you're spraying him down with 30, 40, 74 rounds.
Well, the problem was like the what was it, like patch 0.7, if I remember right? They actually reduced the aim punch. Before that it was pretty massive, Everybody was
Yeah.
complaining. Everybody was pitching around. It's being too hard, and they reduced it. So it's kind of interesting to see that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the idea here. But it's interesting to see like something that they reduced. You want to bring up again.
Well, no, but exactly. I think it would not. I think affecting the armor ammo meta in this way would change the game so much for the better. I think firefights would be so much more interesting because, all right, I'm a sweaty, thick-geared boy, and I'm getting hit by some schmuck with PS ammo. All right, well, he's hitting me. Now I got to take cover, reposition, and repeak. And it's going to make firefights potentially last a little longer, potentially get a little bit more interesting. I think it'd be a really, really fun thing.
I think they'll work it out. Right now, what they're doing is they're just balancing it. So sometimes they give, sometimes they take. You know what I'm saying? And they're just trying to see how it all is like reacting. I think it's a good idea that they increase like 995 and other things because like you said, I'm just sick of running around fully kitted. No matter what, I still get one tapped. Because everybody can run the best ammo. It's plentiful. It's easy to find. But now they're starting to balance it, right? The thing that I really had a problem with was I would go to bed and 995 was $4. I would wake up and 995 was $9. No word, nothing. They had nothing was said. All they got to do is send out a little tweet that says tweaked price. Like they don't have to give us patch notes or anything, but like just tell us as you're making changes, so we can inform viewers and players and things.
Yeah, I think what's done that is because he brought the player economy back in. And as soon as he brought that back in, the prices and everything just went flying sky high. Because people are greedy. That's what
people are smart.
So greedy. And they shouldn't really have the traders affected as much as what they have at the moment from the flea market prices. It shouldn't affect it as much as what it is doing. It's like, what is it, $11 for a round of 995 now?
It is now, yeah. $11.
Yeah, you can't actually make any more profit off of it. They killed it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
players that are using 995 are only buying what they can from Peacekeeper. That's it. Then using that until the next reset.
But note that you can make it 140 odd rounds in your hideout for the green gunpowder and a 30mm shell. And to buy those combined roughly is about 90k. 90k for 140 rounds MI5 is far cheaper, I believe, than the $1,500 for the same amount of rounds. Give or take.
I love the fact that you can craft these things now in the hideout, which is absolutely genius. What I really would wish is like that you can set up a crafting queue. I mean, I used to play online MMORPGs, and that would be great if you had like your stash ready, create that amount, and just set it on a loop until all your mats run out. That would drastically improve it.
That's a really good point. I think it really fits well. I think the crafting system fits really, really well with the vibe and aesthetic that Tarkov has and intends to progress forward on. That would make it feel so much more like a true like survival sim. Like you really do have to loot things. That was my biggest problem earlier on before the hideout was ever released. Was it didn't really feel like a loot game. It was just kill PMCs, take their stuff, and make money, and that's all it was. There was no exploration needed. You didn't need to loot. You didn't need to check bags because why? It's not the chances of having anything useful for you are so low.
Yeah, I like the hideout where it comes in where actually everything is lootable now. Everything is actually worth taking to do stuff for the hideout.
Yeah, that's definitely a great addition to the game. Now everything's actually useful, which is fantastic. It's not like, some bolts or nuts, brilliant, I'm just going to leave it. It's like, I can pick up these bolts and nuts. I've got some expeditionary fuel. Going to create some mag boxes on the toilet. So it's definitely heading in the right direction. While we're still on the topic of ammo and armor, guys, something came up in the chat to do with armor plate hitboxes. Okay, so those of you that have worn body armor in real life before will know that your whole body is not obviously covered by the same, let's say, to keep it within the realms of the game, the same class of body armor. You've most likely got soft body armor, probably class 2 for argument's sake. Let's say, arbitrary numbers. You're going to have maybe hit plates. If you've got the like IOTV, you can have your hit plates, and then obviously you're going to have your big main plates front and rear. As far as I'm aware, this idea has been pushed forward to BSG about plate hitboxes. But I think the meta to do with AP ammo and to do with armor that people use, I think people will probably move a lot closer to using like plate carriers and stuff like that. People are going to be want to be more nimble. I don't think I don't know. It's kind of tricky to talk about because there are so many changes that need to happen with armor from a physical point of view, not just from like, stats based. So I think it is going to be sort of floating around. It's going to move around a little bit until those changes come in.
I think we
they
see
did
that
that.
already.
Good.
I think we started to see that already with the LSHZ helmet because it's a class 4, and then the back they have that attachable avant-garde for your neck that's class 5. So that's cool. I think what Dan said is 100% right. Side sappies, front chest plates.
Yeah,
I think it would be fairly easy for them to do, honestly, because then all you got to do is just make your thorax go to 5 once you put a plate in it, right? But then
Exactly.
the other ones stay at 4 or whatever like that.
Mhm.
But I think that, so if you did that, so that would be partially armor balancing, and then you had the ammo changes like we were talking about. So if you have the ammo changes, the armor changes, and everything, so those lower tier ammos would be more viable against non-plate carrier people, or just shooting them in the stomach or other places that aren't covered by the plate. So I mean, I think that that's very viable. And also going on to Collis's thing, he had said something about creating or the looping stuff into the hideout. I think that you could do that with the lore friendly by hiring a scav from Fence or something like that, and then that scav works for you. He makes your shit just continually craft and whatnot. I think it would be cool, right? Like, why not?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's
Yeah.
it's a make sense solution. You could have a little scav companion. With why is that so funny?
A little buddy, Dobby.
Buddy.
You call him Dobby. Come here, Dobby.
having your little scav on a leash down in the hideout.
Oh,
chain
no.
down
Jesus
working
Christ.
for you.
You're just getting weird
All right, now we're
bro.
getting into some things. Let's,
Yes, master.
Monka TOS.
on the more accurate to realism hitboxes for armor plates and stuff, I think that would also add more to more skills for players to develop both the shooter in the situation and the one getting shot. So
Absolute
if you can line up your shot to come in right underneath the arm, for example, on the side, then that's not going to hit a plate. So it gives the
I love that.
shooter.
I love
it gives
that.
the shooter more
He's going to
options,
shit the bed.
which is a skill that people would have to develop. But then also, if you're the one getting shot at in a firefight, it will
Love it.
add an element that you need to learn and adjust to and get used to on
I am
how
muted. No,
you
no worries,
face your
Sacred
targets,
Fabric.
like
I am
squaring
muted
up
in
with your
the
target to
Discord.
get your
And welcome to the
largest
stream,
armored
Sacred
section,
Fabric.
your
It's good to
actual
see you, my
main
friend.
plate facing the enemy. So
That's right.
it'll
That's
add
how you
more
teach.
danger for side
Yeah.
strafing and running perpendicular to your target.
Yeah, because CQB, for those that are aware, is obviously taught you're facing the enemy. You face your body armor plate towards the enemy. You do sideways on, you're gonna get around the side of you. It's gonna penetrate back and forth and fuck you up entirely. I think the plate itself's interesting. I think there's a plate carriers out there, like I know the one the British Army use has one at the front, one at the back, and 2 on the sides, for example. And you can choose to not have those in. I don't know why you would do that, but if you remove, say, the side ones, you would weigh less. Then you'd have more ergonomics, for example. I was watching a minute ago as well on Nikita's stream this morning, or from there today. Then they're introducing leg armor into the game, which is
God damn it.
Oh my god.
now, when I say leg armor, it looks like, from looking at it, it's covering the quads only. It can't be ballistic protection. It's be fragmentation protection, I suggest. It has to be free moving. And if it is a thing, obviously, if you wear like EOD suit, for example, that is ballistic protection. But that's like you're fucking Michelin man. You can't bloody move. So it's going to have a drastic effect on ergonomics and it probably be tier 2 protection, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's showing the front legs being protected.
So it's going to keep scavs from legging you with shotguns. That's pretty much their goal. But it better slow your ass down a lot.
Yeah,
because that's
it
really
would do.
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It's going to be horrendous. I've got a message for Profit from a fan. They say, can your in-game item, your streamer item, could it be an armored groin cup?
an armored groin
Those are
cup.
called dick flaps, brother, and they all shrapnel.
Listen, those things exist. They're called nappies. The Mate, I
Combat
use that
nappy.
shit. Blast
Absolutely,
protection,
bandana.
buddy.
True that, my
Comfy as
friend.
hell. Nice.
There you
I mean,
go.
what's the reason
I
behind
said
that?
it.
Is there a reason behind it?
Behind what? The groin
Like-
protection.
Yeah. I don't know.
I
He's
think
worried
it's
about your
not
groin,
you're
bro.
saying.
It would be a dolphin on your groin.
It was
Yeah.
devious.
Of course it
Devious
is.
says about the groin cup. Anyway,
Nice.
moving on from the groin cup.
Let's move on from that. Yeah.
Let's move on from that one. So we've got the addition of new low penetration 7.62 NATO/308 rounds, and the M80 penetration nerf, which can be rolled in. Guys, what do you think to the new the scabs not shredding us as much with M61?
I think it's about time. Scav should not have had M61.
Love it. Love it.
From the full stop. They really shouldn't have.
Yeah,
Yes.
that ain't a hunting round. Not sure why they had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still obviously get the M61 though when you scav in with
The
M700.
M700.
R700, yeah.
700, yeah. Or R700, sorry, which is a bit of a funny thing to get still. I think, again, it's a balancing thing, isn't it? It will change. I hope they will move that from player scavs having that ammo at the start.
But at least you're not getting one tapped through class 5 by a Hunter Vepr Scav no more.
Yeah, hopefully those player scabs aren't as good of a shot. So we're all
Yeah.
all right.
Well, they kind of counter it with the TAC 30, which is like a really bad scope in this game.
True.
It's nice and clear.
It's all right.
This-
Huge.
this-
That 30 is
sense-
fucking.
The sensitivity on it, though, is so
Dude, you
broken.
can't even see your target. There's so much red.
Mate, I got my furthest shot ever with the TAC 30. You take that back.
Wasn't that
You know what's
stupid?
funny? Actually, today I killed two guys with thermal and everything. Level 6 armor, actually a Ford armor, with an single M61 round. So I don't know if it's just critting a lot or what it is, but this morning I definitely one had on fucking Ford armor, and then the other had on Gen 4, a full, or not a full, but what's the other one? The assault. And I one tapped both of them with a single chest shot, and it just blew my mind. I was like,
They could have
why are
they could have
dying?
already
What-
been hurt
yeah,
though
what
by
blew
other
my mind
scabs
yesterday?
or
Yeah.
players.
There's that, and there
Oh,
is the.
yeah.
It was the start of the raid, though.
fragmentation chance.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it had to be fragment chance, but 2 in a row? Like that just seemed
Yeah,
like
I don't get either. Yesterday I was playing streaming. I was shooting unarmored scabs. It was taking me 5 shots with M62. I ran into a team of 3 and I one tapped every single one of them with full armor with the M62. But yeah, unarmored scabs, it's like taking 5 or 6, 7 shots to kill them.
Why you're
It's,
not taking into effect
why?
the amphetamines the scabs are on.
I mean, that's
Fucking combat stims.
It's
Yeah.
going back to, in reality, not saying it wouldn't hurt. It's going to hurt quite a bit. When the ballistic stops in the body, the full transfer energy is taking place, full damage when the ballistic goes through and through. I don't know, is that actually in game? I always
No,
say
it's
this
not.
in my stuff.
from
It's not
taking
in-game.
4 shots to kill a scab to one
It's
tapping
bullshit. It's
each
bullshit.
person in a team of 3. It's
Tarkov.
I
man.
need, mate,
Yeah.
I need to see
Fuck off.
this. This is a thing that pops up in chat all the time, and I'm sure you guys have spoken about it as well. Overpen.
Mhm.
We need what? I'm gonna write a letter, man, to Nikita and say,
yeah, we need to know if it's an
Nikita-
actual thing or not.
Nikita Senpai, this is happening in chat. Everyone's asking about Overpen. For me personally, my theory on this Overpen phenomenon, guys, I think we're hitting people in the arms and the hands. Okay, if you imagine someone's got their weapon trained up, okay, head ducked down, okay, you think you're hitting them in the head, obviously sight over bore and all that. I think majority of the time we're hitting people in the hands, hitting people in the arms. Like it's a meme at the moment. Like we say in our chat about people having class 7 arms, like their arms are is the new type of body armor. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done enough digging on this topic, but I think it would be quite cool to find out if once and for all is Overpen a thing in Tarkov. We need to find out, like, because it is smashing my head to bits.
It's doing my I don't know. It's doing my head in as well.
I mean, I
It
think
just really
I
is.
think the overpen idea just comes from the 2 stats from every round, the penetration stat and the damage stat. So if you're hitting somebody with a high penetration round that has low damage, and they don't have good armor, it's gonna say screw the armor because we don't care. We didn't, our penetration was so far above that armor class that it doesn't matter. We neutralize the armor easily, and then we're only gonna do that small amount of damage that round has. I mean,
But what
that's
people
how
are
it would make
saying-
most sense to me.
What people are saying is people are saying overpen on people's heads. Obviously, to kill a PMC with a headshot, you need to deal 35 damage or more direct damage, right? So what people are saying is, and I think it's a hit reg issue personally. I'm not 100% sure, but people are saying that overpen is taking place when you're engaging people and hitting them in the head, okay, because the round is not doing its full amount of damage due to having too high penetration. As far as I'm aware, this phenomenon isn't actually programmed into the damage algorithms and the formulae or whatever. It's just I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on it off the top of my head, because it's something that people are talking about a lot. It's like, oh, it's just overpen. it's one of those throwaway things that people are saying at the moment. Oh, it's just overpen. That's why you didn't kill him.
It's certainly a thing in real life. The round going through and through, and not fragmenting, going straight through. You're going to survive that if it hasn't hit a critical organ or something. So that is a true thing. Whether it is in game, not sure. Have you noticed ever, like someone chat to me now, that they've shot someone in the head before, in fact, a minute ago, and the round went through the back of the head, allegedly hit the window, broke behind them. So have you noticed rounds penetrating the body and leaving marks on the wall behind somebody in the game as well? Do rounds keep on going through a body?
Yeah, it's client side, isn't it? It's client side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a
the
lot
blood
of
and
Factory
stuff.
Night rounds to farm the scavs, and sometimes I need like 2 or 3 bullets to the head before they drop dead, and you literally see the bullet hole in their Ushanka after the first hit in them, but they're just moving on like nothing happened.
They absolutely travel through, because I've gotten a collateral before. So, I mean, that in itself means that the bullet travels through. But like Dan was saying, what the hell's up with their arms then? So it can travel through their head, but it can't travel through their arms and kill them in the chest? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's something very funky happening, I think. And I think it would be nice to get some sort of clarification from the devs, just to say, once and for all, guys, this is what's happening. If it's not doing the damage that it's supposed to, then it's this issue, or if it's not doing any damage, then it's hit reg, etc. Like we all know the issues with hit reg.
So you're literally saying that the arm will protect you the entire time. Hits the arm, it's only damaging the arm, nothing else
all just
behind
running
that.
around like this.
No-
Exactly.
Right.
Rolling around.
Okay. I missed
Sometimes,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes feels that way. But like I say, this is something that we can investigate further.
play.
There's 5
So,
of us here. We could go.
we just go in as a 5-man, do it now.
Factory Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mythbusters podcast.
Shotgun ammo, guys.
I'd be curious to know if the high pen rounds still retain that same level of penetration after it, say, passes through the arm or passes through someone else's head, because after making contact with anything, the round's going to deform. And mushroom, if you will. And so, if I shoot somebody with 995 or M61 in the arm, it passes through their arm into their chest, is it going to still have the same characteristics and attributes as when I fired the round?
My understanding so far, it does reduce damage. So, like if you shoot through a window sometimes, or you shoot through, remember if you used to shoot through the chain link fencing, shit like that, it considered a pen. So it will pen. It does reduce damage, but I don't know if it does reduce penetration
I
necessarily.
mean, if
So that would
anything,
be
it should
something to test.
probably hold damage. It should probably hold its same damage and reduce pen.
I agree.
If you could only pick between the two options, I think that would be more realistic. But obviously, that's the call of the developers.
I mean, it also depends where you got hit on the body. I mean, no matter how high the pen value is on AP bullet and how less the flesh damage is, a headshot is a headshot. Like, if your brain is fucked, it's fucked, you're dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's a different
Cool.
thing if you get shot in the leg, shoulder, or arms, right?
Even the shittiest pistol bullet should one tap in the head if there's no face shield.
Yep.
100%.
Oh, I can't wait till knocking out comes in, or being unconscious. Oh my god, pistols are gonna be OP as fuck at that point, because you're gonna get knocked out all the time.
Fucking tranquilizer guns.
No more fucking face shields.
Exactly. Shotgun ammo, guys. Shotgun ammo for 12 gauge and 20 gauge. What's your opinion on the, let's say, for example, the AP20 for the 12 gauge, and of course the Devastator slug and ammo such as? Do you think that the new shotgun ammo has took the edge off a little bit, these shotgun tests that we've been doing lately?
Definitely, love yes. it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it helped. The AP ammo definitely helped with the shotgun task, definitely.
And also,
Other
Other than that
efficient.
task, I've not really used shotguns. Still not used them.
I
Have you
became
seen
an
somebody-
absolute hitter with that gun? Thermal, nighttime, AP20s or the copper slug ones. I was sniping 100-meter plus, killing people, headshots. It was nasty. So it's
Have you guys saw
definitely
that Saiga now? The Saiga 12 with the big drum mag. And if you have full recoil reduction, like I think Ghost Freak was the one showing, and you fully mod the weapon, it is ridiculous. The thing is a laser beam with AP20 ammo, and it's like it's fucking stupid.
It is a cheeky
Yeah,
weapon.
Also, the flechette ammo is quite powerful.
Yes,
It's
I agree,
that thing
Tack.
incredibly rips. Even gear guys, like, dude.
It's been shredding
disagree.
armor, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Into
disagree
the
with that though.
face, no face shield will save him, dude. It's easy. It's a
got
lot
really
better,
good-
in my opinion, than the
10
AP
meters
slug.
away though.
You've
10
got to
meters
be
away,
close
and it's
to use it.
completely it's ridiculous. It's useless.
But yeah,
Like,
you have that like that burst, that circular burst, you know, to rely on. Rather, like me personally, I can't land a slug. Like it doesn't matter if he's a foot away or 100 meters. Like I can't land a slug. But the Magnum buckshot, the new Magnum, and the Lachey, dude, woo! Try it. It's cheaper too. It's a lot cheaper.
Like I say, other than the tests, I've not really used shotguns. So
Fair
I like
point.
that they not only that they just added all the ammo, but like, you know, last patch it was just HKs, SA58s, M4s only. But now like people can choose, like they have all these cool submachine guns like the P90, MP7. They can choose what kind of weapon mastery they want to level rather than everybody just doing assault rifle. And I think that's really cool because now my shotgun, you know, I don't even use them that much, but it's the highest it's ever been in any of the patches I played because of the ammo. You know, I got more into it, so gives you more of like a specialized way you want to play.
Yeah, choice is always good in games. I think we
Yeah.
can all agree on that. Right. What do we think, guys? This is the one. Those of you that are looking at the itinerary,
fucking thermals.
the big
Hey, have a
T7,
good one,
guys.
Dane.
What
You see, like,
what's your
good luck
opinion?
on your,
Just
Dane said you good luck on
Let's
your
hear yours,
multiplayer,
Dan. Because my
Get 'em
yours
out of
yours
here.
is
Get
as
'em
strong
out
as
of
mine.
I
This is
don't-
your favourite, dude. Notice, so go for buddy. Italy.
Mate, I don't want to talk about.
Preach.
I'll be against TOS if I say what I think about that thing. I think thermals. Thermal sight is more than enough, in my opinion. The T7 is just like, yes, it's a great idea. I think it's it shows what the devs are capable of.
Frax,
It's like, hey, look what
welcome
we
to
can
the
do.
stream,
Look,
It's
look
good
at the
to
amazing
see you.
things we
Thank
can
you very
do.
much
Yes,
for
I
hopping
agree.
in.
I think it's
How are
awesome.
you? Thank you, McAndre, for
However,
the shout out.
From a gameplay perspective,
Welcome to the podcast, my man.
especially since it went down in
Welcome, my
price.
dude.
I think the price has got a lot to do with it, and it did go stupid cheap after the drops event, so it can't really be, you know, held against its price at the moment. But I think just as an item, just as a thing that exists in Tarkov, I think the T7 is. I think
much.
it's I can't even find the words to describe it because I literally I've used it for one raid and I've just felt disgusting using it. As soon as I finished with it, I was like, guys, you know, gave it away. I ain't using this.
I mean, the thing that I see with the T7 is at the moment, as it is in its current state, it's OP. But I mean, I've been a Tonk commander. I've looked through thermal sights quite a lot as a gunner. If they make it more realistic, because the way you're looking through the thermal scope is not realistic at all. You don't have that clear picture where you clearly see black and white and some movement behind the bushes. It's always a little bit blurry. You always have a little bit of interference going on if you look through that. I mean, if they adapt it to more of a realistic look, I think it can work pretty nicely into the game because it's not that much overpowered as it is at the current state.
And talking about realism, so I don't know if you guys know this, but as it currently stands, thermals in general in Tarkov are not realistic. Big surprise. So one, you can see through all these bushes and trees that aren't rendering. So like when you're not ADSing, that's the same thing that the thermals can see through. So when you ADS and all those bushes and stuff render and appear, that is what. So for some reason, the thermals can see through that. So they need to fix that for one.
Hell
So
yeah,
make
yeah.
this shit render so you can't see through 25,000 bushes and kill a guy 700 meters away or whatever the fuck that's going on. However, the biggest thing that I think they can do to make thermals much less OP is in real life, you cannot look through a window with a thermal. It just doesn't work. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched like some of the stuff online. I went actually on stream one day because we were talking about it, and I was like, it can't see through windows because infrared radiation is what it's detecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
The window has its own infrared signature, therefore it can't see through it. All you would see is just like a blank thing, like a shitty old game that, you know, has those little shitty windows that you can't actually see through. That's what you would see. Therefore, there could be somebody on the other side of it staring at you and murder you because you're trying to use thermals in like a urban environment, which shouldn't happen, right? So I think they need to add in that, and then make the windows render from farther than like 20 feet away. So
Kiba
Yeah.
glass is like that. Have you ever gone inside Kiba and looked out of it with the thermal? It's
No.
like that. It's one of the only glasses in the game that you can't use a thermal with. But he's right. All the other glasses should be programmed like that.
I think the thermal itself dictates higher tier meta gameplay now, and especially as a team as well. When you start using the thermal, and if you don't use the thermal, you're playing the game wrong right now, really, because you're massive advantage. I try not to use it. I have never used T7 myself. I think it looks awful. But I use thermals quite. No, I never had them. Also, the value of it, 12 mil, or it's now, what, 8 mil now?
6 mil.
It's kind of crazy expensive. But look at the other thermals, weapon mounted sights ones, the Fleur and the other one, I forget what it's called now. 200k, 100k, and they weren't that much more than that before the event, drops event. And they will always be that cheap because you find them quite commonly in Kiba as well. And the resale on the flea market drives price down because it's so damn common. For me, you need to make it rarer, found in raid only, and rare as shit. But then people want to bring them out, I suppose. But you'll find teams bringing them out potentially, where you got a chance of getting your gear ditched and survival rating increasing.
I think one of the other biggest issues is optical focus. All right, so if you have your thermals focused out to, say, 50 meters or 100 meters or out to infinity, and you try an ADS on your iron sights, they're going to be blurry and out of picture. That is to say, if you can even get your head cranked down below those low iron sights. So on an AK, that would be near impossible because of how low the iron sights sit to the weapon itself. On maybe an M4, where you have a little bit of a natural rise on your iron sights, it might be a little easier, but even then, those things would be blurry, out of focus, and you would have a hell of a hard time trying to see through them. That's just for the T7 in particular. Now, as for thermal optics, like
Alex,
Gunbash mentioned earlier, they are incredibly unrealistic
Alex,
in the way they look through glass, the way they see perfect, or kind of like what Kala said, with how they see perfectly through bushes. There's no real interference. There's no blurriness. There's no
really nice helmet, man.
There's no good level of gradient between
the
environment around you.
Thank you very much, Alex, for the
and a
support.
heat signature.
How are you?
It's
Welcome
either
to the podcast, my man.
it's either a person or like a fire or a generator or something very warm, or it's dark. There needs to be more gradient.
No, I don't vagabond Twitch. I don't do it.
There needs to be no weird little like refresh rate line going over like it used to. There's no low FPS thermal optic that I'm aware of on the market out there, at least today.
They fixed the Reaper.
Age. Yeah, they did fix it.
I mean, completely fucking broke it.
Yeah.
They're not
but yeah, I personally think it kind of takes away from what Tarkov is supposed to be. I think if they were to keep thermals in the game in any way, it could be something like the T7 that you could wear on your helmet and flip down like nods.
Not at all,
like
brother, but they're too easy to get.
head-mounted binocular
That's
that
like
it is.
the statement here.
But you can't shoot through it, so you can flip it down to scan, and then you can flip it up again when you want to shoot.
Hey, dude,
or a handheld binocular that you can pull up, look through, and then put down again after you've found your targets and scope in on them with a normal sight.
A way to combat thermals as well. Obviously, the most modern day uniform is thermal protection as well. Hide your thermal signature. Like most multicam stuff and clothing does that, and obviously more advanced stuff does the same thing. So all that will be shown really is probably your face, and that's it. Because most soldiers and the guys in the game as well, they're wearing gloves, they're wearing full trousers and body coverage. So the only thing that's going to show really, in addition to that, is camouflage, wearing cam cream in your face and stuff, also hides thermal signature fraction. So that could be a way to combat it on a permanent basis.
That infrared balaclava, man.
Yeah,
that's what I wear them anyway, dude. I'm ready. I got a whole stash.
I literally have like a huge portion of my stash that is fucking face sealed.
Stalking.
Jeez. Right, good stuff, man. This is great, guys. I'm glad that you I'm glad we could. We all sort of. I think everybody. It's like we use. I think everybody sort of sees it the same way. They're in the game. They're fair. Why not use them if you want to get that advantage? They're there to be used. To be fair, you know. But I think a little bit of all of us on the inside feels a little bit dirty using thermals. Maybe, I don't know. Like they are very, very cheeky. You know what I'm saying? Very, very cheeky. So very good. Now, what do you think to the new map, guys? Reserve and military base that we've been enjoying. How do you think it fits in with the rest of the maps? Like, how does it sit in the lineup so far? What kind of gameplay opportunities can be had there? And why is that damn alarm so loud? Why is that still a thing? Come on.
God. Best
I don't
map
play
in Tarkov,
Reserve
hands
because
down.
of that, by the way. Because of that fucking alarm, I will not play it because it literally gives me a headache.
They shortened it. They shortened it by about a minute and a half.
Have they?
It's nice because you don't hear the noise as much, but you have to get out in a shorter amount of time. So when you press the button and run for Hematic Bunker, it used to be about 5 minutes. Now it's like 3.5 minutes that you got. So it's kind of a give and take, but I love it. It's a fucking snipe map. It is a close quarter combat map. I love that they brought a boss. I think every map should have a boss. I love it. My favorite map, hands down.
All the would-be snipers in the game think they're the pro sniper teams that they will sit on top of the high ground. It's like the first thing I'll check is up there. Oh look, there's a player there. You're dead. See you later. And it's a good gameplay because you can flank them easily, go underground. There's lots of different gameplay styles that Atlas is saying there. CQB, long range, medium range. It's good. I think it has the biggest floor space map in the game. So you might think it's not a big map, but I think it's the biggest map in the game.
It's fucking massive. Yeah.
If you
huge.
unpack it, it is absolutely disgustingly big. It's crazy. It's amazing.
I think it's great.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
rooms
it
I've
runs,
never even been in.
doesn't run the best, but I think it's rendering everything, isn't it? It's coping with that.
There's a lot.
Yeah, wait, hold on. What about Factory with the boss? Somebody. in
So
chat
my
said-
idea for Factory is they're working on a riot shield, right?
Okay.
What if he has like some kind of riot shield
No,
Glock
stop,
18
stop.
combo, right? He's a riot shield Glock 18 boss that moves slow, but come on, that's badass.
Think of
Yeah, but
boss
the other thing-
accuracy,
I mean,
though.
the
He would
riot-
fucking shred everybody.
The thing
Right.
is, Battlestate already announced that they're going to rework the factory map and they want to make it a little bit bigger. If the map is
Good.
bigger, I have no issue with a boss. But at the current size, a boss wouldn't make much sense in my opinion.
You run out your spawn, you'll get tired.
You get 5-man teams as playing Factory even more and more and more, farming boss scav. That's it.
Yeah.
Shit on that poor bastard by himself and all the scavs and 5-man.
Well,
for
he
the
would
gear.
have to be really.
Scav
He
boss.
would have to be really
Hey,
hard to be honest
Todili,
with you,
dude,
because
welcome to the
of
stream,
that
my bro.
reason
It's good to
there.
have you here.
But
Thank
then
you
that
very
would
much for
also make
hopping
the
in.
tasks like kill people with pistols and shit, and kill people at the office, absolutely toxic. So.
You also got to keep in mind that scavs aren't the most intelligent things. At medium range open ground, they'll fuck your shit up. But if any door collision effect occurs, you can cheese all scavs in this game, unfortunately. And you get stuck on doors and stuff, and they can do it in the Mantis, for example. So they have to work on their CQB collision with the scab boss because you could probably cheese him way too easily on the map like Factory. And this grenade storm.
Oh yeah, they should
dead.
take some of that programming from the Raiders on Reserve because those are the most in-depth Raiders. They actually have tactics programmed into them and like the way they move.
Yeah.
And they
They feel
each have
different,
their
don't
own position. They are. It's awesome. It's awesome. There's stormtroopers and there's like Gluhar's guards, and they all have different personalities. It's really cool.
I was kill one of them. One of the fuckers. They ran from bottom floor. I was outside and went to a higher floor and fucking zeroed me because I was laying prone on the ground trying to go.
God.
He just killed me. I was like, "But what the fuck?" So they flanked me. So they can do that. They can do that.
That's probably the exact sound that he made too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was more. Oh yeah. I'll leave it there. Leave it there. Non-toxic streamer. Non-toxic streamer.
Speaking about Factory, for those of you that caught Raid episode 3, we saw a little bit of well, we know where Factory is anyway, like geographically speaking. But we did see in Raid episode 3, no spoilers, but there is a external area, so to speak. I think Factory, moving back to that expansion idea, I think Factory would definitely benefit from like an outside. Imagine Factory is like, I don't know, you've got Factory and then potentially a decent sized area around it as well. I think that would be absolutely awesome.
Like a center complex area, like a horseshoe effect of factories and stuff.
Yeah, imagine the factory fully realized within another environment. Do you know what I'm saying? And everything's the same. You've got your entrances. So rather than exiting at gate 3 or gate 0 or whatever, and cellars and stuff, I mean, the cellars, you could go cellars, open the door up, and then head out, and then it leads to like an outsidey bit, and then you could run around out there. And I think factory would definitely, because everyone spawns inside the factory. I think it would be great if with factory, it could be sort of expanded, and you actually, let's say, spawn outside, and you need to get into the factory. If you want to go into the factory, maybe there's activities to be enjoyed on the outside as well. I don't know. I really love that idea of a factory.
Our
expansion,
experiences
sure.
on Tarkov,
Definitely.
like what our current
Needs it, I
opinion
might play
is.
it then.
All these guys that you see here have thousands of hours into the game,
Yeah, for
me
real.
included.
I don't like the
So
way
we're all pretty
EU
experienced with the
servers play
game, and we're
Factory.
just trying to talk a little bit about
it's
give you
really
guys
not
different
fun at all.
insights, like how we feel.
What do your guys do? They're just sitting in corners.
Yeah, literally just in corners the whole time.
Oh, we're talking about labs now.
What do
Oh, okay.
you
No.
want to ask, lad?
No, in Factory. I mean, I don't play labs neither because of that reason. I don't have the patience for someone that can sit there in a corner for 40
Dude,
minutes.
you got to just
let
turn
you
on
do all the work.
Netflix and watch a show like they do, and then
Yeah,
camp
exactly.
the elevator.
Yeah.
I can't,
And then
I
they're
don't
like,
have the
"Oh
patience
shit,
for it.
pause Netflix, Jimmy. There's someone coming." Then they fucking kill you, and then turn Netflix back on.
I don't get how someone can spend like $150 to sit in a corner for 40 minutes. I don't get it.
You make a good point.
Well,
but,
they spent $150 to sit in a corner for like 7 weeks because over time they just build up that time.
exactly.
That's just my
Exactly.
opinion on maps like that. It's just I always get the shitty ones. You're either full geared 5-man, absolutely storming through factory, or you get the solo players with pistols sat in the dark corner. That's all I seem to get.
I miss Taw going into factory. That was so nice. Just murder all 5 of them. It was fantastic.
What's next
Yeah.
on the agenda?
We have got the hideout. Okay, so a couple of topics from the hideout. So, favorite crafting options. What are you guys crafting? I think we touched on that earlier with the ammo. We've got what are your opinions on the length of time to craft and upgrade things? So, for example, let's say you want to upgrade the I think it was Bitcoin farm level 3. Perhaps it was 72 hours or something absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember, but 72 real life hours to upgrade something in the hideout. What are your opinions on that sort of thing? And out of raid treatment of your character.
Hey, Audicart,
So,
welcome
obviously,
to the stream, my brother. How
persistent
are you doing?
health,
It's good to have you, my
there's
man.
gonna be
Thank you very much
ailments,
for hopping in, Audicart.
toxicity, probably
Yeah,
CBRN
podcast
threats,
for
so
the
biological,
first ever for the
radiological,
Swan
nuclear,
podcast, my dude.
chemical, all that sort of thing. We've seen the little icons in offline mode and stuff like that. So what do you think to the hideout, guys? Now we're a couple of months in to maxing them out, etc.
I think it's the way forward. It's the way it's going to go. I think it's a reduction of things in the marketplace or increased value, and you're going to see more things being built in your hideout. Most definitely, I like the fact you can build stuff. It rewards you for getting things in raid, bringing them out, making those rounds. So you can bring them into that first mag of MI5 in your rifle. And good to go. I think it's become a more common thing you're going to see in the game. I hope it is personally, because I think it's a good move.
It's like
Yeah.
dude, I don't know the English term for that, but it literally translated is like a golden donkey, dude. You can make so much money out of the hideout. I mean, sure, you invest quite a lot, but the amount of money you make along with the Bitcoin farm is insane. The moonshine sells pretty nicely. Also, that you can break down components. I really like that fact to get yourself new crafting materials. It's just amazing. Really, really love it.
Yeah, Tarkov needed something like the hideout to just refresh it a little bit.
I really
For
like
sure.
the library and the intel,
Do you
like
have
how
any
they
recommendations for
passively
settings in
increase or
Tarkov?
reduce things.
Looks good on stream.
It's like for the,
yeah.
the library, for
I can
example,
show you mine after
group
the
of skills
podcast,
leveling
dude.
boost,
I can,
30% additional
can show you mine,
experience,
my brother.
15%. That's awesome. And then the intel center, like, so we're not getting crushed with scabs as much, but if they get this up, this cooldown is reduced by 35%. Insurance return time, negative 20%. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, the hideout was a good addition. Very
The
good
thing
addition.
that I'm asking myself, what is planned since you can install like a secure door, right, or a security system? Are there going to be any AI opponents or PMCs raiding your hideout in any?
I don't think so, but I think it's more of a passive, like what's the point upgrading all this stuff, getting a Bitcoin farm if your front door is a bit of cardboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just a immersion RPG.
But
add-on.
that's something
But
that
might be.
I mean, that's something that I would love. For instance, I mean, we have been talking about daily quests and so on, like a daily event where your hideout is going to get stormed by scavs and you have literally to defend it. I would love to see something like that and get a reward for it.
That
And
might
the
come
lower
with
your
open world,
security,
though.
the more it happens.
Yeah, exactly. For instance,
It might come with open world. We don't know if they're still going open world for one, and two,
They
how they're going to
shouldn't.
implement the hideout with open world.
I
hope they don't.
So in regards to missions and stuff, a bit off topic, and trades and things, you're gonna have to go in the future into customs, then meet Prapor, complete your purchase. He'll courier your shit to your hideout and stuff. That's going to happen. That is planned. Whether or not your hideout's going to persist somewhere in a map as well, I don't know. I don't think I mentioned that before, but certainly the traders' bigger maps is going to happen at least. And to what extent open world's going to be, there's worries about that actually happening. Whether you're going to a door, loading screen, going to like a new map, or would it be fluid? I don't think the engine can carry the fluidity of moving to map to map.
That's like the thing that they want to do with labs. So, as I understand it, the way in the future that you're entering labs would be you're going into the map like Escape from Tarkov itself.
Factory.
Streets of Tarkov. And somewhere you're finding the entrance, then you have to enter labs, do the raid there, and then move back to Streets of Tarkov in order to extract.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's the way that they want labs to work in the future.
Isn't the entrance to labs the hermetic door in reserve?
Not
that's
too
one
sure,
of them.
but
They said that there's going to be like 3 different entrances to labs in one of the podcasts. They said
okay.
that the Streets of Tarkov is going to have one.
Gotcha.
I think there's also one on one of our maps we have now. I can't remember where. Oh, I think it's the factory. The red light door at the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's one too.
I think in addition to the hideout, as that was our topic anyway, now you can make on the workbench. I think it'd be really cool to have like a reloading bench to reload ammunition types to further increase. You have to get the parts again broken down. Reload ammo. I think that's a really good part. What was I going to say? Armor, fixing armor and stuff. Whether you can fix your own armor by collecting and breaking down other armors or parts in game, or nuts and bolts and stuff. Because right now, nuts and bolts don't actually have a proper tangible use. You can trade them in for things, I suppose, but it's not actually fixing your armor, which you probably couldn't do if you smelted it down, I suppose. But you know what I mean? That those sort of things might come more and more useful, I think.
Awesome. What about off-raid healing, guys? What do you think to that? How has that affected the game? How does it affect new players? How does it affect veterans?
How are you
and
doing,
how
my
does
friend?
it affect the
Thank
economy?
you very much for hopping in.
It's grown on me a lot. I didn't like it at first, but it has grown on me a lot. It's a nice, very nice addition. Like, because you're not just gonna come straight out and then, all right, reload that mag and go straight out again, are you? If you've been shot at all day, you're gonna be like, you're gonna need like refreshing. Like you're gonna need
private
water,
time
food
in your bed space with nice place on the wall.
Yeah, you're gonna need something like that.
You have it too.
So
have you
I
went to
actually
your
like it.
bed yet?
Oh, I know.
Go to your bed in the hideout. You got one.
Yeah. And
But no,
toilet
I don't
as well.
mind it now either. I think that at the start I forgot to heal like 4 times. I died twice because of it, but like it's not so bad. I think the thing that annoyed me the most before I maxed out my hideout was eating and drinking. Now that I maxed out my hideout, I don't notice it nearly as bad, but I forget to eat and drink all the fucking time. I've even got a chat command now because I always forget. And I think that it's just really tedious, but I think you're right. It does add to the lore.
I think the hydration thing is too effective in game anyway. You lose it too quickly. The healing thing is not an issue at all for people like us, but brand new players who are finding it hard to make money in the game, that's going to hit them quite hard. They're going to spend all their money trying to get meds, trying to heal, because they're dying every game. They don't know where to find the medication yet. They're lucky to find it. They spend all their money probably on medication and buying Makarov pistols and hatcheting runs. So I think once you get past that point, you're fine. But initially, it's half those guys.
You said that you think the hydration goes down too fast?
I think you could argue it could do.
Well,
like
I mean,
in
just
raid. Yeah.
Military guys, like think back. Like think about doing like a gun run or on a range or something. Like
you're
even if you're only advancing 300 meters, fully kitted, you know, it's the amount of sweat. Like people don't understand. Like the amount of sweat pouring in your body and the pain that you're in and like the fucking fatigue. I think it's pretty realistic. Like because You're only in, you get dropped up by helicopter. You're in interchange for 50 minutes or whatever. I don't know. I think it's pretty fucking ridiculous. If you're running around and shit, I think it should affect it more, like sprinting, jumping, all that stuff. But if you're just walking slowly, but I think it's in a good place because a lot of these places you can find water. It just makes it another factor in this hardcore game, that I like.
Yeah.
I like it personally.
I mean,
I
So nice to
love
think
going to
about.
someone's stream and watching them die of dehydration or something. It's so fucking awesome.
Sadist.
I mean,
It shouldn't happen.
What I
It shouldn't
would
happen.
like to see is like more of an adaptive way that how food and water works. Like lower the regular consumption, but as soon as you start sprinting or using that stamina, increase the consumption. So it's up to the player, and you really have to think a little bit in advance. Do you want to sprint all the time? Do you want to keep food with you, or do you want to walk on a regular pace in order to not need that much stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
think that's great. Having more dynamic hydration and energy usage. Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine
Absolutely.
that's something that will be implemented. That makes absolutely perfect sense in my opinion. Cool.
Reflex, my brother,
yeah,
welcome
people in
to
the chat
stream.
are
How
also
are you, my
saying
man? Thank you very much for
that
hopping
new
in.
players are getting absolutely destroyed with the off-raid.
Yes, so
healing.
that's the guys you
Um,
see here is basically almost
I
the
mean,
whole
it's
Fortress
what
1 stream
three?
team, my dude.
Let's say the cost of 3 AI2s, so 10 grand to fully heal after a raid if you die. I mean,
Better bring in a pistol.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 grand to fully heal, and that's without finding once you start getting stuff like the Grizzly is absolutely incredible in terms of efficiency in off-raid healing. So, for example, chat told me a while back, hey, Dan, try using the Grizzly. You get 1,800 in a Grizzly, and it costs so much. So the Grizzly, as far as I'm aware, gives you the most cost-effective hit points, like health points, for what you get. Does that make sense?
It also
So
will fix fractures instantly too
Yeah.
out of raid.
very, very
Yeah,
true.
I keep like 4 grizzlies in my stash the whole time. For when I come out of raid, just right click, heal all done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here.
The Grizzly is
pretty smart.
absolutely fantastic. So, guys, if you're not
But
using Grizzlies
I don't know, brother.
in the stash, go
I
and
don't
do
know why people are using
With the med
green
station,
walls.
I
Maybe
found
I have
at
to
least
hide
coming
something?
in as an
I don't know.
experienced player, however new, right? Because I started 6 weeks late. I didn't really have an issue at all with off-raid healing or having enough heals because it's super easy with the med station. Like you can make Salewas in 5 minutes, just like click, 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 and you're good.
Yeah, 2 AI2s for a slew, isn't it?
I think they actually got rid of that. Yeah, they did.
That was one of the things I was talking about. I woke up and then the next day, one of my favorite crafting things were just gone. No word,
Yeah, it's the same with
Yeah,
the
exactly.
ABS plate carrier. One day you could buy it, next day you could only trade for the shampoo.
Yeah, that annoyed me. That.
By the
So
way,
I was using the ABS the whole time.
on
I mean, it would be
meds,
nice to get like Twitter updates at a minimum for all these like small changes, but at the same time,
Well,
it could potentially hinder their progress. They're able to make all these minor tweaks at a moment's notice, and I think that is a good thing for the game as a whole. It's a little annoying for us, but the game just never stops changing and stops rolling and stops improving.
I agree.
Yeah,
Because
but you
of that
just
at the
shoot
same
a
time.
text and then make a tweet. It takes about 30 seconds.
Well,
They
Yeah,
have a
it's-
person that's
Nikita-
paid to just use social media.
Nikita basically said they're not going to announce these small changes because they want to have player discover it by themselves.
Mhm.
That-
they said they want it to be
they're doing-
discovered
yeah.
by itself.
They're doing
And-
this on purpose, actually.
Yeah, and that they wanted it to simulate as if like the traders were actually changing their stuff based on some in-world event, which they could actually just announce that event too, like why this is happening. Maybe there's a drought and
That would be
now
cool,
water's
yeah.
super fucking
There you
expensive,
go.
right?
There you go.
Like,
Yeah.
why not, right?
Dynamic trader events, not just at the end of a wipe and saying everything's super cheap, etc. It's like, there's been a shortage of this or there's been a shortage of that. Peacekeeper, maybe, and this is just my brain going all crazy right now and creative, but let's say, for example, a global event. So, let's say scavs have taken over whatever on this map, a supply route or a main, a main supply route, whatever. Globally, kill 100,000 scavs
I would love
As-
that.
as
Hell
a player
yeah.
I
base
would love that.
to get water back into the economy, or to get the food or whatever. Imagine events like this. You wake up one day, you fire Tarkov up, guys, PMCs, this has happened. This is what you need to do as a full player base. Do you know what I mean?
Better and as USEC or something like that, right? Because
yeah.
let's be against each other, so we can stick with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like anything like that would be absolutely awesome, and I think it'd be fantastic to have more dynamic events in the game. But that's just me going, off on a tangent there, thinking about exciting things.
Hey man, the more lore they can create, the better the game is, because it's an RPG, and I don't want them to, leave that to the wayside to create other stuff. Up, who are we getting joining?
Mr. Militia in the house.
Oh,
It works.
He's
My son
upset.
is coming.
No one's using the
what's
capture.
going on?
Mr. Militia's inbound.
Player 8 has joined the game.
Now I've got to move my in-game capture.
He's keeping you guys guessing. It's been perfect at the start of the stream having this. I could have captured everything and be really good, but yeah, it's one of
It
those
would
things.
seem I don't have a camera.
You have to share a camera, bud.
It's just a voice.
A voice in the dark.
Yeah.
So what is next
Turn
on the
screen share.
on the topics?
The next topic that we're going to be jumping onto, guys, and we're probably about 3/4 of the way through, is character customization. So this is something that we wanted for a long time, to be able to customize our characters. It's an RPG. A lot of people have argued, hey, why do we need character customization in a first-person game? It's all in the mission statement. It's all in the vision from BSG. It is an RPG. It's a role-playing game. Customizing your character through gear, through cosmetics, clothing, face, maybe hair in the future. Hey, there he is.
You ugly bastards.
What's going on, man?
I think
character
it's handsome.
customization. He looks looking good. He's looking all right.
Damn, look at all that G Fuel.
Jeez,
That's
man-
not a
man's got a stash.
hashtag ad.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah, you guys might not be able to do this because Dan is sponsored by someone else, right? So you might want.
Yeah.
Now
Hold on,
he's gonna-
I'm just gonna have a
on
drink.
stream.
Let
Gonna
me
cover you up.
fix
Wow.
this real quick. I got it. Hold on. There we go. All right. How about that?
There you go. Product
Uh,
placement. Mate. I'm gonna have to go on YouTube now and tick that box that says this doesn't contain, or this does contain paid
Does contain, yeah.
advertising. I'm just gonna have to block it out, block malicious cam. Anyway, Militia, great for you to join us.
Hi.
It's been great, guys. For those that don't know, off on a bit of a tangent here. Militia was the one and only who put together all of the sort of overlay stuff that we were working with, the effects and stuff. So we've got a nice little bit.
Wait,
Probably-
does Dan have it working?
I haven't got the overlays, but I've got the
No.
dust
For
particles.
fuck's
I've got-
sake, you
It's just-
guys.
Militia, you should have split
Hey,
it.
I
and put
think
it
Bust
you in
my
Discord,
fucking
bro.
balls.
If you
I
turned
thank
up,
you. I was the only one that thanked.
For
If you
fucking
actually-
crying out loud. I knew it was gonna listen. The point I knew it was gonna be a disaster is when I posted it in the Discord and Grandpa Takales was like, I don't know how computers work.
I got it to work. It's really fucking good. The issue was at the start.
I even included instructions.
It was
I
very
might be
clear.
able to do it now. I might be able to do it. Let me,
You have to then spend like 5 minutes down capturing each
Oh no.
capture and then dragging it across. I could do it now as well. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Militia, you should have just split them up and just done it separately for everyone.
I can't be fucked to spend 5 minutes doing something.
It kind of works, but
I wait 15. Oh my god, what happened?
Militia's me. Takal's is yeah. No, that ain't gonna work. Don't worry about it.
I think
Hey,
something
my
might be
chat
wrong.
is requesting a Grandpa Taculi emote. So they want to see
Gray
Grandpa
beard.
Tack, okay?
Hey, my beard is not even white yet. Come on.
He uses just for men.
There you
You're
go.
dyeing your beard,
Perfect.
Tack. Oh my goodness.
Perfect. Guys, come on. Focus
Right,
up.
let's
We're
get back on.
professionals. We're
is
professionals.
all 8
We are
members,
a
right?
professional stream team.
Customization. Let's go.
Character customization professional podcast. Right. So currently we've got a 2-slot system. We've got upper body and lower body. We have heard rumors. BSG have talked about being able to change other elements. So I'm thinking we'll be able to have, like, let's say boots and pants,
Gloves.
and then we're going to be having gloves, tops, etc. Eventually, I believe we're going to be having faces. We're going to be having hair, tattoos, facial hair, stuff like that. I think would really enrich the character customization experience. So the big question
I would
is,
love
guys,
to do so,
the
young
big
one.
question is, who has the best clothing out of Yusek and Bear? Go.
And
Just
I
say
am
it.
pissed because Bear
Obviously, Yusek.
Bear.
has the best clothing.
No,
Hold
it's-
on. Oh, I know my
I'm
camera's
Team
monochrome
Bear,
and
but it's
everything,
definitely
but
Yusek.
which one has the flannel? Remind me. Which one has the flannel?
That is
Wait, what the
true.
fuck is wrong with his
I
voice?
just like-
Did we already talk about this while I was going to piss?
It's deeper, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
kind of fucked
You're
up,
like-
dude.
Yeah, it sounds funny.
What the fuck?
Oh, you want to get a
He uses
slice
the
of
voice
that
change
real quick?
chat.
Are you in transition, Militia?
He's
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my!
You only bullied him
All right,
out.
now I refuse to come in here.
Oh, right, professional guys, come on.
We all
All
I'd
I'm
knew
say
saying is
this
Yusek does get
podcast was
full
probably working
M81
great
Woodland.
before I came in here. Anyway,
That's
Bear,
very true.
Bear, you guys are. Out
Yes,
of
you
your
can.
minds.
I just like a nice
Flannel is dope. Flannel
I
is
like-
MVP, but
with the bear.
M81 Woodland is
Woodland.
probably the thing that blends in with the most.
I like a. I would
Hey,
like.
dude, welcome,
bear
my
top, like,
friend.
just a black
welcome, my
top
man.
for the Yusek.
Dalton Fury, how are you
Something
doing,
like
my
that.
brother?
Yeah, perfect.
It doesn't matter. You don't blend
I'll take
in.
it.
I don't care what you wear. You don't blend in. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm wearing
seen the
the
ghost suits,
iron
though,
sight
right?
top with the Kyber pants. So I'm wearing the white on the dark, and I swear to God, I've had people stare at me before. So it's not. It just depends
Is it
on what you're
glorious?
at. Because, yeah, I do. Fuck it, man. Wear what you want to wear. But like the thing is, like you blend in with like the very light colored things, like walls and stuff. So if you have this light colored top, it doesn't matter what you wear. You can wear whatever you want. You're not gonna blend in. You're gonna die because I'm gonna kill you.
That's only because it's winning the thermals.
Ghillie
It's only 'cause it's
Yeah,
thermals.
exactly. You're white. You glow white to me, anyways.
I do like the PCS multicam top a lot, but there's no pants. The Woodlands are great, but there's no pants for the PCS multicam. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you
That
can't.
one
You
kinda
can't
hurts me
wear
a little
mixed
bit.
camo. You can't wear.
I can't, it looks
a
wrong,
multicam
right?
top and a woodland, but you just
Yeah.
look like a. Yeah, we ain't gonna go there, but
Yeah,
Yeah, they
T-Rex.
need
doesn't look good.
Scorpion.
I want the
Okay.
ability to
Doesn't
not
look
wear
good.
anything at all. Just go naked, top down, for example. That'd be good.
I'm down for naked. I'm down.
Yeah.
100%.
You'll
does not surprise
instill
me.
fear in the enemy.
100%.
They'll see that and think.
I mean,
"Fuck,"
what
and run
about your
away.
nips, though?
Tape?
Pasties.
Tape.
What about your shoulders, though? I
Little-
mean,
little-
you
Dude,
remember
they'll
what it
even
was
have
like?
festive pasties.
Little killer helmet pasties, just right here.
Kill out.
Cool.
Now we're gonna have killer helmet pasties and dolphin cock blocks. So
Nice, dude.
It's gonna
Like
be
it.
good.
I'll tell you
It's
what,
gonna
Dan,
be good.
I love how you put
Dan's
this
like,
on the notes
no.
as well. You
What's
put this
that?
in the opinions on the closed Bareface Yusek. Bears better change my mind. I love how you put that on the notes.
Yeah, they're definitely not biased. No,
Yeah, definitely not.
Do you know what I'm saying? Guys, let's move on to the AI. So Scav bosses and your experiences with the Scav bosses so far. Sturman, Glukar, and how the AI Scavs and the normal Scavs are sort of performing at the moment as well. But let's go for the Scav bosses. Guys, what are your experiences with the famous Sturman? How have you managed to fight this guy? Are there any tips and tricks you can share for the community? Or do you just, like me, just avoid him at all costs because he's an aimbotting asshole?
With that sniper,
He's an
sniper
aimbot in
guy,
asshole
right?
with that SVD. That's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
it's
Yeah.
a sniper guy.
One tap.
All right.
Yeah.
Thermals.
what?
Hmm.
Oh, kill him with
Thermals.
thermals.
Ugh.
I don't know, man. Like he hides in,
Clearly
like the
missed a
little
very
nooks
important
and
part of this
crannies.
discussion.
Well, I'm sorry, but if everybody is fooling themselves that thermals is the only way to play, you should play another game. I'm just saying.
Sir, we've
Oh,
already
no.
discussed thermals.
Well, sir, they're in the game, and I'm going to exploit them until they're not in the game anymore.
Welcome to
Fair
Tarkov.
enough.
So mean- Sturman, yeah, on Woods, Woods,
Yeah, the sniper
Woods,
one.
or- yeah, Woods.
No, he's on shoreline.
The thing is that motherfucker, he's you can use thermals, but he's always stuck behind a hut somewhere, isn't he? You have to get in very quite close quarter to kill him. It's hard to pinpoint the guy down, and he flanks a lot. Like Ats was saying, like a Scab Boss on reserve, Scab Boss on Woods, he does actually move from position and will flank you. I've seen the guys flank me from, say, the southern edge of that overlook, and he's gone all the way around Dickhead Rock and come behind me and cut me right in the back. So they're a lot better. I think he's better on that map and also reserve. And less static not initially, but after a while.
No, I like the way where his minions, like, they won't just run at you in a group; they'll just split off, and one will go one way while it's covering the other one while the boss is pushing you or something. I like the way that they've done that with him.
I was quite surprised actually. Woods, I thought they'd destroy Woods. I thought it would be literally Woods, Mosins, everyone goes center, sits back, snipes, and last man wins and takes the gear. But it hasn't become that way particularly. Kind of has, because the added foliage there, it stopped that from happening as much. You can't really sit back too far.
That rock, the elongated rock that sits in front of like that sniper scab position that we all know, that elongated
spine.
rock,
Yeah,
right?
spine
Yeah,
rock.
the spine. I think that's the point of no return with him. Like if you keep that distance, you have a fighting chance. As you push in closer beyond that, like whatever programming they have for how he aims, you're fucking toast. Just
It's not like a normal scab that'll just go bang bang. It will go bang 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 bang, like as fast as he can at you.
He'll spam you down.
Around
Yeah.
SVD.
The thing is, though, go ahead.
It's just I think all. I mean, I know we're talking about him specifically, but all the scab bosses, in my experience, have they just need tweaked. They just need tweaked. They just are. Their accuracy is unheard of, especially for the weapon systems that they're using. That SVD, everybody has experience using that, and if you've ever dealt with that round in any type of capacity, the fact that he can squeeze off a magazine with 100% accuracy with a scope that was made in the 1960s, you can fuck off, because that doesn't work that way.
I don't know. In my experience, it seems like he will shoot a little bit faster, but he two taps. Like he'll tap and then he'll wait a second and then he'll tap.
Unless he's baiting.
He has a very distinct play style. I think, like, I honestly believe that his guards are even tougher than him. I think those are the ones we're having problems with. The VSSs and those guys that have they're tough.
They're tricky, man. They're tough guys, dude. They've got fantastic camouflage and concealment, and they're quiet and they're disciplined. The first time I started getting engaged, it was just suppressed shots. Like there was no shouting, there was no nothing like that. It was just suppressed shots. The AS Val, that 9x39 round coming in and taking my legs out. I was like, geez, All right,
I would have really enjoyed to see Sturman up on the spine, like have the woods area be his stomping grounds, and for engagements with him to be at much longer range. Because every time I've ran into him, it was probably within 50 meters, sometimes within 100. But I think, especially given that he has an SVD, I think it would have been a lot cooler to see him out in the woods or up on some rocks or something, up in some high ground. That way you have to worry about him lurking off at a distance instead of, running up to the sawmill and then getting engaged.
The thing that I really enjoy about Sherman is that he baits. That is actually, that literally blew my mind when I first realized, hey, this guy was actually baiting you. First of all, you already know if the boss is there or not. Second, it gives you a chance to like pinpoint his position. And it's just the absolute noob trap. I love it.
Agreed. So talking about tactics again, going back to Glukar and his, forward scabs, the guys who will push out and kill you, and then his defender scabs and all that stuff.
Yo, Seek,
if they can start making actual scabs, not be,
man. How are you doing, Seek?
Stupid, and have those types of behaviors, that would be fantastic, because then we're looking at more, but without the aimbot, of course. So if you had Sturman, it's like one scab that sits in the back, because what Sturman will do, talking about this baiting mechanic, is he'll sit back in the back and bait the shit out. He'll start pulling the trigger just like he's shooting at somebody. But then his two guards are waiting in forward positions because they actually saw you. They saw you push past the point of no return, like Militia says, at the spine. So they moved forward into flanking positions, and then Sturman moved back and started shooting. I saw them do this, so I was like, what the fuck are they doing? And they were moving like weirdly, but they murdered this PMC from like fucking 50 meters away because they both crossfired him. I was like, this is fucking the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So it's really cool mechanics, and they need that for other scavs.
I don't know, man, because these are supposed to be like farmers and just normal people, not like fucking former private military contractors or you know what I'm saying. These guys were like in the Cold War era. Scavs aren't supposed to be fucking agents. You know what I'm saying?
They're all Russians. All Russians are agents, right? KGB.
I mean, they have like fully automatic guns and shit, but it's different when you serve. Different.
Yeah.
So I think that would go against the lore.
What's your
Personally,
thoughts on randomizing Scav bosses in different maps, not have necessarily Sturman on one map, but having a chance of him appearing on another map that's randomly, completely randomizing all Scav bosses?
like kill on
having,
factory, just running around power sliding.
Exactly. Randomly
Power
going
sliding.
there.
That would
I think it'd be fucking
He uses
phenomenal.
ultimate on
Or
you.
Trial that in an event. You go in there and fucking hell, the whole Scav boss team reserves in factory, just cucking everything in sight. I think that'd be really great. I think that'd be fucking amazing. Just an
Don't listen
event.
to him.
And do it, Nikita, please.
That would be a fun event, but it would be
event.
terrible
Event.
for.
Yeah, late game, pre point 13 in March, soon maybe. A pre-wipe event, do that for like 2 weeks. I think it'd be fucking amazing. I just think that'd be really cool to test it out. Like before, they had like every raid, every scav is now is a raider.
There's a raider,
Maybe
yeah.
mix up a bit and chuck in the scav boss team in maps, randomize it.
I think that'd be an amazing event. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely put that forward. See if you can try and get some traction on it, because that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would.
replace every AI with killer.
Wait, what the fuck did I just come back to?
Tarkov numbers reach record low.
people having like groups to get the PTSD squared away from killer, just cucking every single raid.
Jeez. Guys, goodness me.
sorry.
How do you talking about AI? How do you think normal scavs have been performing lately? So in the past, those of you cast your minds back to like 0.4567. We used to have an issue
Hey
where
Chief, welcome to the streamer, dude.
odd numbered patches the scavs
How
would
are you?
be
Can we have a shout out for my friend
easy,
Chief, guys?
or you know, and then even numbered patches they were just
Less
the
of,
complete opposite. Like they would
ideas,
literally go like
less of
this,
those
like
ideas,
in terms of
Grandpa.
difficulty. Like there's
It's actually
time,
fun,
there's
man. Come
difficulty.
on.
They would be just like this. How do you think the AI, the normal scavs, are performing in patch 12?
Really weird. Really weird. It's either they're hitting everything or they're hitting nothing. It just depends on what kind of day you get them on.
So it's like they've just combined all the scavs.
Yeah,
from
they've
over
just
the
combined,
years.
just combined it all.
Just put them all in.
It's like, one minute you can have a scav completely annihilate you from 60, 70 meters away. Next minute you can walk right up next to him 10 meters away and he'll still miss you with a shotgun.
I kind of like that though, because think about, do you think scavs should have different stats and whatnot? Like I think they should have different
I agree.
stats.
Yeah.
Like some scavs, like maybe Atlas was talking about, they're a farmer, right? They don't know how to fucking do anything except for go lay a plow or whatever. But then that's not saying bad about farmers. I'm just saying but then the other was like private
You already
military.
said it. You already said it. That's already said.
Peasants.
We just lost all our farmer viewership. It's gone now.
Oh man.
I think
Yeah,
scavs
go-
seem to have
they
really,
actually work.
really heavy ammunition. The ammo seems to drop straight away and just hit certain body parts a lot. Unfortunately, that still appears to be a
Bullet
thing.
drop, yeah.
Would
I remember
you
that.
perhaps be referring to the legs?
We
Yes,
fixed leg meta.
yes.
Fixed leg meta and
Yeah.
made it head meta. They would not hit anything but the head.
I'm not complaining too much, but it seems if they're going to hit you, they tend to hit your legs. But it could be, let's be honest here, everyone's late game now. When you start the game again, you're not in body armor and you're getting one shot by the scab. So I think they're knowing you're wearing body armor still and they're aiming for parts they can pen a lot of the time. That's the unfortunate thing. So they are hitting the legs, so they know they can hit that, and they're employing that leg method to kill you. I know half the raids I played, scabs are killing me, or it's the scab boss rather than players.
You know what
Not
though?
that
At the
bad.
beginning of point 12, I actually got in a bit of a rut, like with my stash and my finances in the game, because I would get one-shotted in the face hitbox probably 8 out of 10 raids. Didn't matter if I was 50 meters away or 10 meters away. The scavs were crushing me with whatever they had.
Point 12.
Yes, point 12. Point 12. This patch. It was a very, very dark time in my Tarkov history. It was bad, man. But
You're too good
then
looking,
again,
that's
you
why,
know,
mate. They're trying to ruin your face.
that hasn't happened in a while. whether or not I was wearing a face shield. It's just, yeah, like we've mentioned before, it's just been kind of interesting this patch. It's either they wreck you or they don't, and
No.
who knows why. I guess
I still haven't
wasn't.
forgiven
Like
you,
a
by the
thing
way.
that I figured out is, especially if you do like nighttime raids, if the scarves lock onto you, and they really have locked onto you, you're having like they're shooting you from like 50 meters in the dark. While as long as they're not locked onto you, they're not hitting you at all, not seeing you at all until you approach them like 20 meters. So that's kind of a weird thing that I've witnessed. I mean, dude, a pistol scarf. Literally, I wasn't reserved. I had night visions on. The scarf locked onto me. I was moving away, and he still was shooting me. He had nothing or nothing, and it was pretty dark in the game. So that's kind of a weird mechanism that they, in my opinion, have to fix. It's like the lock on the scarves. If they're locked on you, they're literally becoming a Terminator because they can see you through everything. Although I got to say as well. Bushes now kind of work against scarves to hide in and to take cover. They don't tend to shoot so often through bushes anymore as they used to.
Yeah,
I've
much
noticed
better
that
than
too.
before.
Yeah, they are a lot better.
Much better than before.
They
Fortunately,
still lock onto you
I think
through
we
the
all
rock.
agree that that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in 2 sex, guys. Count.
If they're
This-
already locked onto you, though, that's the problem. If you lay down into a bush to try to keep
the
them
guy
from
top
shooting
left,
at you,
that
they
would
will
be,
not. They will
Sea
keep fucking
Warfighter,
firing into
my
that bush
friend.
until
I
like
can't
your
wait.
legs are deleted.
Well, I mean that kind of makes sense. If I see somebody go lay down in
True.
a bush or jump into a bush, I'm gonna just shoot at
Just
the
gonna put a
bush. I
full
mean,
mag in there. Full
Yeah,
mag
just
in
gonna
there.
engage
they're
the
just a
bush.
bit
talk
more
about
accurate
shooting
with
at
it. That's all I'm
known,
saying. Yeah.
likely, and suspected targets. So that's
Yeah.
what that is.
But they're definitely on the way, and that's
They're getting
good.
there.
I think we can
Slowly.
definitely agree on that. Right. So
I still want to have scarves looting things.
yes, Scavs
Yes.
looting things.
Oh,
Has
yeah.
that's been something that's been spoken about by BSG. Scavs, AI Scavs looting things, whether that's bodies, whether that's containers, whether it's things in the local area to them. No idea. But yeah, like it's no longer going to be, you know, oh, that Scav's got a weapon on his back. That's a player Scav. It's going to be, you know, it's going to become harder and harder to determine what player Scav and AI Scav is going to be, especially with Scavs looting stuff. And obviously, if you loot a Scav, like if you kill a Scav that's been on a bit of a loot run, you might have some good stuff on him.
Yeah.
You never know. So it's not going to
I thought-
just disappear off the map. It'll be good.
Yeah, that pro kill in his bag.
Yeah.
Are they also going to loot things like static objects? Like, have they mentioned it? So, like what are they called? The filing cabinets and everything.
Not 100% sure how it's going to work. It could just be loose objects. Could include containers. Could be bodies. Really not sure, mate. But BSG do want Scavs to display more sort of natural or behavior that you'd expect from player Scavs and vice versa. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really cool.
I think that'll be a great implementation. Hell yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
See a scav killing a PMC, looting a PMC is killed.
Another thing that I, since we're already talking about scarves, another thing that I kind of figured out or kind of weird to me is why do scav, especially on reserve, why do raiders not attack AI scavs, but you as a scav player get shot immediately?
Yes, that annoys me with killer.
That's
Scav
that's-
bosses.
Yeah,
Killer.
same thing. That is something that I don't get. Like, how can they even do? How can they know? Oh, that's a friendly scav. Oh, that's not a friendly scav. Right?
Yeah, every
mean, it
other
makes-
Scav in the area is waving to you and giving you the thumbs up, and then you go past Killer, you're like, oh, hey, buddy, and he's like, "Brr," you know, takes you out straight away. So it is quite
Makes sense
frustrating
from a
that the AI
programming
knows.
sense, but not from a like lore and realism sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's been many
it's-
times I've spawned straight into interchanges of scav and I've been right in front of killer and he just dropped me as soon as I spawned. It's been many a times he's done that.
Chat
I mean,
saying,
just
Fixing.
trying to wake you up, man. Give you a free cup of coffee.
we've got chat saying Killer never used to shoot player Scavs, but people playing as Scavs would use that opportunity to murder him. So is it a countermeasure to stop AI Scavs? Sorry, is it a countermeasure to stop player Scavs from taking out the Scav bosses with too much ease?
Well, what I would love to see, to be honest, is like raiders and scav bosses shooting everything, scavs included.
Yeah.
That's how I would love to see it. I mean, you got to draw a line. Even nobody gets shot, so everybody gets shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
Well, they
think
just
that,
scream and run
like
from
Tack
him.
is saying, they're like a squad, just like we're a squad and we go in and play together. They're a squad. Everybody's their enemy. You know,
Yeah.
going into a raid. That's
Mhm.
how they should behave. You're right.
I'm pretty
Either
sure
that
Killer's
or-
always
or-
engaged scavs. By the way,
What's that?
always.
He did, but they stopped that. He's not doing it anymore. So regular scavs he won't engage.
Really? Now?
Yep.
The fuck?
I think they'd be able to implement
blown.
something where the scav boss, either on customs or Killa on interchange, would be able to sense whether or not you're pointing your weapon at them, and if they sense that
Exactly,
you're pointing at them
Marc-Andre.
or maybe ADSing
Exactly,
on them,
dude.
then they will turn on you and become aggressive.
I think that's a cool idea as well.
Yeah.
That way,
I mean, I do it. I walk up to scavs and I
lurk
tap
around
them because I want that Vepr Hunter. But I think
Mhm.
that you're right. They shouldn't be able. They
Stop
should turn
scav on
around and be
scav.
like, "Hold on here."
I mean, in my opinion, yes,
Stop!
there's obviously all sorts of different rules of engagement, and current conflicts around the globe. But if I was in the Tarkov world and somebody was just minding their own business going around me, okay, let them be, maybe not, but all right, I'll let them be, I'll let them go by. But if I saw somebody pointing a weapon at me and then like actually aiming it, no, I'm gonna turn and become aggressive, take cover, shoot at you. So I think if they implemented it that way, that could be a good defense against player scavs, that spawn in with, say, a Vepr Hunter, being able to walk straight up to Killa and just shoot him.
So
have
Killer
it be a
knows when he's
variable.
been aimed at, sort of thing. It's
Aimed at,
like-
or if you get too close for his liking, then just
He has a
something.
bubble. Don't get in my bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Personal
Respect-
space.
Respect the personal
Yeah,
space.
exactly.
You get within his bubble, he ultimates you, slides, and shoots you in the face.
Is it every scab boss that doesn't engage now or just Killer? On a scab.
No, every scab boss is engaged.
Every scab boss,
player
but scab
scavs.
boss minions
We'll
will
always
not.
engage.
Scab boss
Okay.
minions will not engage unless you are seen by the scab boss.
I quite like that,
really?
when you run,
Yeah.
when you're a scav, when you're a player scav, let's say on customs,
Huh.
and you run over to gas station, let's say, Zavodsko will come over and he'll be like, "Hey, mate, you cannot
Yeah.
be here. Get out." And you're like, "No, I'm going to the gas station." And he's like, "No, you're not." And then Michelle's like, "Whoa," and starts taking you out, and you're like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have gone in."
Yeah.
But I think that's really, really cool. It's showing. I really love this about the scab boss as well. Like, it shows like another layer of the AI that they can come over to you and say, "Hey, buddy, it's got that RPG element as well. Hey, dude, if you get any closer, we're gonna open fire and flip you the bird, show the middle finger, and you can take that as a warning, and you can go, yeah, sweet, I'll take shortcut.
Yeah,
No worries.
I'm
So I think that's great. I think that's really, really cool. But obviously that only works with scab bosses that do have a crew. And aren't Sturman SVD and you from across the map.
Yeah.
Guys, moving on to Jaeger. Is this the most hated man in Tarkov right now?
Yes.
Jaeger arguably got all of the shit tasks from Skier, plus some new shit tasks for himself as well. He basically, I think Jaeger's got a bit of a bad rap from BSG. He gets upset whenever you do a task for somebody else. And then the next day he'll ask you to do the exact same task for him. It's like, oh, you killed 20 scabs for Prapor. I don't like that. And then it's the next day, hey, I've got a job for you. I've got some scabs there.
That
it's
sounds a lot like
what?
being married. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But Totti, that really
Yeah,
sounds,
man.
Totti, that really
Yeah.
sounds like a sticky situation, I would say.
Got her! Get out of here.
I'll have to edit that one out.
Oh, dude,
It's
that
like
really
mine
sounds
should
like
stop
a,
coming.
like a thing.
As long as it's a mechanic
Oh.
testing phase, it's fine. As long as it changes in the future. Because right now his tasks are pretty nasty, aren't they? Some of them are really bad. What's the worst one? I can't recall it. Yeah, as long as it's like Alice bottom left.
Dehydrate for 5 minutes.
Atlas just got absolutely destroyed. That's what you get.
As long as it changes in the future and it's like a mechanic testing phase, testing little mission stuff, how it fits into the game, that's fine. It remains that way. The tremor one is disgusting. Kill 4 or 5 PMCs,
man.
headshots whilst having
So-
a tremor. What is that about?
Why?
So
you,
that
if you know,
one-
if you know how to do it, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah,
Fucking
just to
stupid.
clarify that one, guys, that one was bugged when it first came out. If you shot somebody in the arm or the chest or anywhere other than a clean headshot, it didn't count. It didn't count.
Also,
So you
like,
had to get a clean
Still
headshot.
fucking stupid. Anyway, I mean,
I think,
how's he gonna know if you had tremors when you killed that person in the head or not?
the easiest way to
Fair
do
point.
this, this quest was actually break your legs, don't heal them, go into the raid, wait until the tremor sets in, and then deliver these headshots on factory.
I
you
just
know
pop
how to do it,
Propital.
yeah.
Deliver them. Just deliver headshots. Take it. There you go. Easy. I don't know.
Speaking
man.
of Propital, have you guys noticed that basically Propital is cheaper than morphine, and it does pretty much the exact same thing. Plus, you get healing. So I just use it as my morphine now. I use it as my
Okay.
combat.
I've been using Propital since 11.7.
Painkillers. Yeah, I just use it as my combat painkillers because it's super quick. It heals you. It's like fantastic. But then it does give you tremors and shit afterwards. So if you need to complete that quest, there you go.
2 in 1. Easy.
Says on the wiki though, you cannot use stims for the tremor. And I've noticed that too. I tried to do the quest with the SJ6, or I mean, excuse me, the Propital, and it didn't work.
I got mine naturally, so I couldn't tell you how. If it
Yeah.
went to
As you
I have no
mentioned
idea, to be honest with
the
you.
Propital and stuff now, chat's mentioning a valid point from Dax here. They're bringing in drug addictions, aren't they, to have side effects of constantly using a certain drug. So morphine alone,
man can
is
tell
you
you
take
a
all the
lot
time, it's
back
gonna fuck
in
you
the
up at any
days
time,
of
isn't it? And
Tarkov.
Propital, I have no idea what's in there, so it's
He
gonna have
used
some
to
weird
do
effects
this
in
in
the
a
long
better
term.
manner.
Taking this medication.
Who the fuck knows what's in Propital?
What is that stuff? I mean, there's like horse.
It was
trank
made in the
drugs,
lab,
isn't there?
so who knows?
There you go. There you go. Labs.
Horse
I mean,
tranquilizers?
they've been in some weird shit.
I love you, man.
Says Takal's by the sounds of things. Goodness me.
Well,
But
isn't fentanyl like a horse trank or something like that? Some crazy high strength.
Oh, you
Pain.
want to talk about fentanyl, do you?
Fentanyl. Yeah. I want to learn a little more about this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, no, he needs some working on because them tasks are fucking stupid from my point of view.
Yeah, there's a lot of tasks that he's got. Nothing against Jaeger, but there's some tasks that he's got that are just horrendous. I'm just looking at him thinking, I ain't doing that. Like,
Yeah.
dude, why would you ask me to do that? Do you know what I'm saying? He's basically the bad part of Skier from 11.7 previous. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. I know the tasks are there to test the the boundaries of the mechanics. They're putting in new code all the time for the tasks, like doing new stuff, completing things under certain conditions and that sort of thing. So I respect that side of it, but at the same time, I don't want these sort of things. I mean, maybe have it as an achievement that you killed X amount of PMCs with headshots with tremor. Maybe it's something that's like, hey, you did this cool thing. Here's a bonus. Not you have to do this dumbass quest. For whatever.
Maybe use that to unlock cosmetics, for example, instead of being actual quests for progression to get to more quests.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think anything should be locked behind ridiculously what's the word? Like an adjudicator. When they like prove that you've done something. You can't verify that you did it. You could just say, "Hey, yeah, I had tremor and I did that thing for you," and you'd be like, "Oh, okay, here you go."
The problem that I see is why, and this goes in with the Shooter Born in Heaven quest as well. Why does it have to be headshots? I mean, just a normal kill would be enough. Why does it matter if you're aiming like 2 centimeters higher and get that headshot? It's already hard enough to get like these 100-meter kills with a sniper itself. Why does it have to be a headshot? Why does the tremor thing have to be a headshot? Why not just make a kill while having a tremor? That already would be enough, in my opinion.
So you're just saying, like, why are some of the quests so darn specific, just so overcomplicated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we've already talked about this. Move on. I'm just kidding.
You can move on to the next one if you want.
Yeah, we can move on there. I think Jaeger's got enough stick for one day.
Fucking hate him.
Fucking Jaeger.
Exactly. Guys,
fun. Reflex.
this
That really would be
is
fun, man.
sort of coming towards the last sort of topics.
Yo, Nosy dude, welcome
Issues
to the stream.
in
How are you,
general
my
from
friend?
the team. So any issues, anything that you can think of that has sparked in your mind, something that is drastically wrong, something that is drastically good, just go for it. Anything that's sort of burning on your mind. Any
I think I'll
questions?
speak for us
No,
all
I
on
haven't,
this one.
Nosy.
Me?
No, I
I
haven't.
think I'll speak
got
for us
one.
all on this one.
Flea Market.
Nope.
It's amazing. It's an amazing addition to the game, and I think it's really good. Mentioned before, with incentive to loot stuff and But the fact you can go and buy things from a trader and instantaneously sell on the flea market is wrong, in my opinion.
Yes, that
because it completely messes up the marketplace. There might be a testing phase, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but it also makes things available for those people that don't have the traders unlocked, and that's
Good
the
count.
price
I
they
was about to
pay.
bring that
They
up,
don't
yeah.
have the loyalty with
We're
the
going to take a
mechanics,
look
you
at it,
know.
Nazi.
So they
after
have
the
to pay the
podcast, dude.
trader's price. That's their choice.
So what's your viewpoint, Atlas, on
They're already
say,
cutting it. They're already fixing it. They're
things-
starting to remember how 995 was able to be bought. You could just buy 50,000 995 bullets as long as you had the money, right?
Yep.
Now it's capped out at 200.
Mhm.
So now that's how they're fixing it. That person won't be able to just buy endless amounts of stuff and flip it. They have to choose. Do I want to use the 995? Do I want to sell it for a higher price, and use a lower tier ammo?
Yeah.
That's,
on the other hand,
that's so I do
that-
think they're working on it personally.
So working on it's fine. So it's a very valid point. But things like, say, a gun build, low level for mechanic, build this gun. I go build this gun, and straight I notice that all the attachments, like little Picatinny rail, whatever it is, or mount for it, is sold out because some person bought 100 of those things straight away and they've sold out. That's the main thing I'm getting at, really. Not the. I'm happy for paying extra money. I'm happy that it doesn't ever sell out. That you can go as level 1 prep war and go buy something from tier 4 potentially from flea market. That's good. That's fine. If the item sells out and someone's buying 100 of those items as soon as it restocks, that personally triggers me slightly.
I think that's
Only-
why they're
only a little
capping
bit.
it. That's why they're adding that
timer.
cap.
Should put a timer on it from when you bought it till you can sell it on the flea.
What's your thoughts then on making flea market purely found in raid
Exos,
only?
welcome, mein Freund. Wir haben
Fully
hier gerade einen
encompassing
Podcast
and
im
That's pretty
encouraging
cool. I like that
Das war
idea.
ein Stream-Team, mein Bruder.
So
Schön, bist
take
heute mit
away
dabei.
the ability to buy things. The question would be though, is if I killed somebody and took their shit out of raid, then could I sell it on flea market? I'd argue that's fair to do so.
Yeah.
Because that's fair. But if they could do that, be phenomenal. Because then it again rewards looting, rewards tactical plays, rewards surviving, and you create a full player economy by actually looting in raid rather than buying, click, kind of 10 those please, click, resell for marked up price. It kind of, for me personally, rubs it the wrong way. It doesn't affect my gameplay particularly much. I have money to play a game my way, but I think it could titivate that and change it to make it a player economy rather than a camping trader economy.
I don't like this cap on stuff because you're limited to 200 rounds of 995 for 3 hours. You're going to use that 200 rounds. If you spray down, if you carry on spraying, you're going to use them 200 rounds in one raid. That's why I don't like the cap on stuff. Like I said, they should change it from a cap on stuff to a timer where you buy it from the trader till you can put it on the flea market. That's what I think they should do, not just a cap on it.
Well, having the trade reset, that is your timer. Right?
Yeah, that's what I would agree. I agree with Tack. That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, like you buy it from there, you're using 200 rounds in one raid. Then what you're gonna do for the other 2.5 hours that you're not that you
Exactly. You got to go buy other
Craft,
people's hard-earned
you can
995 or
exactly
lesser ammo.
Either craft it, barter it, or find it.
I think that's fine. I think that's all fine. I agree. That's fine. I think it's, for me personally, it's stuff that runs out within seconds because people buy it out straight away. That's I think that's my main thing. I'd say. I think it's good that you're forced to use lesser ammo and maybe reward guys that have gone to raids and got ammo out and
Why not
give them the extra
remove
cash for
the
it. I think that's
random
really cool.
limit of
I mean,
items
who
on
here
the
actually
market?
thinks not to catch you guys out? Who actually thinks what else sells out? Like the
What
attachments
do you
things
mean
and
with
rounds
that
sell out, but
reflex?
it's certain things that aren't capped particularly. I can't pick them out right now, but weapon attachments they sell out really quickly. I think I don't know if that's an unfair mechanic having that right now because people just camp it out and they buy them straight away and resell them. I don't know. Makes it,
Yeah, I don't.
Go ahead,
Um,
Dan. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I don't like the fact that things can sell out. This is such a double-edged sword, isn't it? How about you can't
scarcity,
like when you buy something from a trader? Let's say, for argument's sake, it's serial numbered. You cannot sell that item from the trader. So
agree with that
basically,
one.
you buy an item from a trader, you can then definitely not sell it.
That's what
I
I
don't
would
know.
love to
It's
see.
it's hard, isn't it? Because it makes sense for things to be limited, but it's annoying. It's like such a frustrating aspect of the game where it's sold out because it's been bought to then be sold again from players. Like it's such a like I don't mind things being limited because it means that the traders run out. I want some of this ammo. I know where I can find that. I have to go into a raid and maybe pick some 995 up. I have to go to a raid. I know there's an SNB spawn that I can go and check out, or there's an ammo depot or something that I can go and raid or whatever. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. It's gameplay decisions. It's making you think. It's tactical.
I appreciate that insight.
Decision making in what ammo and what weapons you're
friend.
going to be using. But the thing that really just pisses me off is the fact that people are specifically buying it to
Just
sell
put
it.
it back there when
The thing
this
again,
one
this
takes
already
them.
exists. So we talked about the
Thanks,
find
I
it raid
appreciate
tag.
it,
What
my
if you just
friend.
had the find it trader tag, right? And
Yeah.
then that tag, like I think Gremlin mentioned, it lasts 3 hours or whatever it is, and then after that, sure, you can sell it, but that's going to take a really long time of thinking about it. Maybe a full cycle of the trader, something like that. But
Yeah.
or maybe just never. Maybe you just can't sell
Thank
it.
you,
Who
Dens, I
knows,
do.
right?
Mhm.
But that tag could
Yeah.
easily be created because the function for it already exists in the game.
Absolutely.
True
Yeah.
that.
I think the fine
if
from
you could
trader tag's a
buy
good thing.
like 1,995, let's say the cap per cycle was 1,995 is what you could buy. They could cap how much 995 you could sell on the flea market per cycle.
True.
So maybe you can buy 1,000 rounds, but you can only put up 500 on the flea or 200 on the flea or whatever it is, whatever the balanced ratio ends up being for them.
So you can only put
there's
up
a
a
lot of
certain amount
options.
of that particular item. You can only
If it
Yeah.
was tagged with the bot from Trader, at least.
okay.
I mean, also what I would love to see is like the issue that you guys all know is like lab access cards. The best example. Have you ever tried getting a lab access card for like 100 grand? It's impossible. And then you see these huge stacks from other players who are like selling 300-400 lab cards in a bunch, in a bulk. Like the way how you're able to purchase something, in my opinion, should be addressed as well. Because at the moment you have all these bots buying the stuff together, which gives us normal people, so to speak, who are not using bots on the flea market, an impossible time to get things for a good price, right? Even if you...
They're doing this, mate, because they're making real money in the world, and they're selling, unfortunately, in-game money for real-life money, and that's fueling the issue because they can buy these things out quickly and fast. That's one of the things which the player market is allowed to happen because you can potentially buy things up and resell straight away. But go on, dude. Sorry, I partly interrupted your comment then, bro.
That's basically it. I mean, I'd like some sort of system or verification where you have to. I mean, I saw this in a browser game. It actually was done a little bit pretty well there. Like if you want to purchase something, you gonna get the person, then you have to enter a random generated code manually, and then confirm the purchase, so to speak. I mean, that may be one option. There are plenty of options how to avoid that situation at the moment.
I mean, chat saying there they've capped how much money you can bring into raid now. I think that's a really cool addition.
Yeah.
It stops guys certainly wiping the account and transferring gear and stuff, but the primary thing it stops is people doing what's it then using the marketplace, sending money for real world money, and then it makes it more challenging to get that transfer done. So I think that's a good thing. Good move there.
Very good.
I got
One more issue.
something.
Go for it.
You guys ever played Military Base and you notice that you can shoot out almost every single light in the basement, in the rooms, the ceilings, every single light is actually destructible. It's really cool because you can make the whole, and kind of like night factories like that too. You could shoot out the lights.
Yeah.
But like Interchange, Shoreline, lots of other maps, you cannot do anything with the lights. They're static. They're always on. Kind of doesn't make sense in a worn, torn mall, that all the lights are on. And the center, like, wouldn't it be cool if you're in the Kiba area and you shoot out the lights in the ceiling, make it completely a different environment? I really think that would be a cool thing to bring into the game. Just one thing I find annoying is when I use night vision, I'm on Shoreline and the lights in the hallway are just always on my face, shit like that. You should be able to just break it with your knife or something.
Gotta say, aren't them lights like client side though? Like you can destroy them you can shoot them on yours, but they'll still be there for someone else.
Yes.
You need to make that server side. In mid that server side, that will be a lot better. You'd have a lot more better fights in like say like Night Factory.
See, I didn't even know that. It's client side, so I'm wasting
Yeah.
my time shooting the lights out.
Sometimes,
much, yeah.
sometimes
Great.
client side.
You can see it. It's down customs in the bunker extracts. Me and Gun Vash run down there. I get on there first. He comes behind me. I see him. Sometimes shoot the light, and it's out for him. But I say, dude, it's on for me still. So it can do that even when you're actually watching it happen. So yes, it is.
So yeah.
Hey, we found an issue talking about an issue.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
definitely learned something right now. Jeez.
There you go. That's what it's all about. Got a
Well,
question
like-
for you guys.
Go on.
Sorry, Graham.
No, I was just gonna say another issue. Servers. They really. I know they're working on it now, but they should have done this before 0.12. I've been saying this since 11.5. These servers need upgrading.
Yeah,
I don't
they-
even think they're
Yeah.
upgrading the servers that we want them to upgrade, though. They're upgrading the flea market and your stash and those
And the
servers. Are
back-end
they actually upgrading? Yeah, I mean, we have hit reg and desync, and they're like, oh yeah, we care about the flea market more. So I think that
Yeah.
priorities possibly is the only thing that I see
Yeah.
here.
I think another thing off of Atlas's comment though is lighting. Lighting in general in the game is very, very weird. For example, if you go to customs night and go over to the dorms, there are only actually a few rooms or a couple spots in the hallways that actually have lights on. But if you're looking into the dorms from outside, all of the rooms are lit up.
Yeah.
Every single room is lit up, and I really don't like it because I think some of the most immersive and intense firefights that I've ever had have been in areas of the map where it was truly dark and flashlights were necessary. I think it would be a great addition for maps that have indoor areas like Interchange, Customs, Resort maybe, it's pretty open there, Reserve possibly. When you even go into a daytime raid, there would be areas on the map where there's an internal room with no windows that is pretty much pitch black. And unless you have a flashlight, you're not going to be able to see anything. Some of the coolest firefights I've ever had have been in those dark places with flashlights on, or the lack of flashlights, rather. And that's been some cool stuff. And I think it would add a lot more variable to the game and make, small, seemingly insignificant attachments much, much, much more useful and necessary to make sure you bring with you every time.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
ray tracing in Tarkov.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Ooh, real-time reflections. Let's go.
Yeah.
Ooh, ray tracing.
What about
Nice.
anybody ever been in like mini L in parking and looked across into S? The light that you
Oh.
can't see past the doorway because the light. There's just you're
Mm.
right though. Just going off your comment, there's so many lighting bugs. I've been killed.
Well,
by
they
people
need
back
to
there.
increase the minimum because it's 40 meters right now for the shadows, and a lot of the times what that is you're just outside of 40 meters, so all of the shadows despawn. Therefore,
Ah.
you can see over into the dorms because you
Yeah.
have your shit set on 40, but not setting it on 40 is like the thermal situation. You're fucking at a severe disadvantage because you can't see anything past 100 meters if you turn on your shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have
they
a
do-
question here from chat. Militia, are you high?
That's what Mum was saying.
He's high on
Why?
gamer fuel,
Why
boys.
he's wearing
I mean,
glasses?
everybody is interacting. He's sitting there like
They're blocking out the haters.
Just blocking out the haters.
I'm a fucking
that?
police officer, you twats.
No,
So, yes.
I've off topic, but I've been trying to understand like what the issue was with like the overlays and stuff, and I understand why this couldn't be done in 5 minutes now because it's what I've been doing the entire time. So that's why I look so intently. I just now finished it, by the way. It's fine, but yeah, that's why I've been.
Wait, does Militia have an
That's
overlay
what
and we don't know? I gotta go see his.
Well, I don't even know. Let's
I'm
just
My overlay
I'm
works
about
fine,
to.
but it had to. It's really, really good, guys. Really fucking good. It's
I need-
amazing work by Militia to get it done.
I
But
need
it was
someone
capturing
to
and
help
dragging across
me.
everyone's cameras to it. That was the.
I need someone to help me set it up. I have no idea to do that.
All right,
Fair
man.
enough.
let's move on to the last one. The last bit.
are a young man's game.
Back in the days, everything was better.
Is that now on chat? Is it question time? Is it question time for chat for last part of
Dan,
the
was,
podcast?
Dan wanted to say something before
Go
we
for it.
all rudely interrupted him.
Oh no, that's all right. I was gonna mention the fog in buildings. This is something that upsets quite a lot of people.
Yes.
And there's always a counter argument to it, but fog in interchange, like
man.
inside the mall, and fog in general, fog's really starting to piss me off actually, because we've got all these beautiful sniper rifles and all these incredible sniping tools,
And you can't see over 200 meters.
but you can't see over 200 meters. And it's like, come on, dude, like you want me to go and get so many headshots or whatever. Why is it so foggy? And why is it so foggy so often? You know, this is something, if I could ask the devs one thing, be like, hey guys, why do you love fog so much? Like, is it resource stuff? Like, are you implementing fog in different areas, or testing fog out because it, you know, obviously when it's foggy, you can't see as far. Maybe they start despoil. I don't know how they're going to work with like dynamic fog and stuff like that. But it's just, I think fog is more frustrating than like tactically viable as like, oh, it's foggy, I can move out. It's more like, it's foggy, I can't see shit. But I guess at the same
Soviet Russia, fog tactics you.
time, fog tactics you. Yeah,
I don't mind
fog
the
sees
fog
you.
in game weather. That's fine, but in interchange it does annoy. Although chat's making a good point, a lot of the windows are blown out in interchange, and a lot of the garages, the fog would seep straight in. I suppose. I don't know. I'm not a weather expert on pressure and stuff. How it would actually truly go into a building, but I can see how it partly does it. But when it's bad, it's bad. You cannot see jack shit sometimes in there. It's really atrocious. So I don't know if it's an excuse Nikita is using to not change it, or it generally is intentional. I'm not too sure. I know it has been addressed in the past. I think so. It's not going to change, unfortunately.
And
I
the
think-
clear thermal image that you get in fog too, so you can stare into fog with the thermal, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Just
And
like
it,
nothing.
that
there.
gives you another reason to run thermal, you know?
Yeah.
Chat's blown my mind. Goshan, massive fire. Where's the smoke?
You can actually see the smoke.
The fire is right
It
underneath
goes out the
skylight.
roof.
Yeah, the fire is right underneath the skylight.
It's just got some ventilation. That, you know,
Okay.
it's fine. There you go.
Right, okay,
Shut
okay,
down.
okay.
I don't know. I think it's a tricky one. Fog in Tarkov is annoying. In my opinion, you know, how often is it that foggy in real life? You know, I'm not sure. I've never been to Tarkov in real life on holiday or vacation.
Well, aren't you
but-
from the United Kingdom? I mean, isn't it foggy every day?
Nah,
No, just rain.
It's
we
overcast.
get-
Yeah.
we
Oh,
get
just
rain.
when I
Overcast.
come visit, okay.
Listen,
Got
not
it.
everyone sounds Cockney or is out of Mary Poppins, and we don't have bad teeth as well. So there's some things that I don't wear a cardigan, by the way.
today.
I know it's mind-blowing times. I know.
Good times. Good times. Guys, has anybody got anything further that they'd like to add for the benefit of the podcast and the benefit of the chat? Please go for it. Please, let's go. Let's hear it.
You
One
guys
thing
know-
real quick, sound really bugs me in this game, and I would love to see. I've got a bunch of the streams that are live open right now. I'd love to see what chat has to say about it. We won't discuss it too long. Again just want to see people's responses, but I am so against the sound in this game. You can hear somebody moving from so far away. I understand maybe if they're sprinting through bushes, you'll probably hear them a ways off or crunching on some leaves, but walking inside, you can walk at a normal walking pace, almost dead silent, in full kit. You can do that. It's not hard. I guarantee you, if any of you tried walking from the sides of the balls of your feet and rolling your feet down onto the ground, you can move at a decent pace very quietly. And how much the game revolves around what you hear and, you know, the positional location based on audio, I think it's unrealistic. It destroys a really fun thing that I love in games, and is, you know, being able to pick up on small little visuals, the side of somebody's shoulder starting to peek around a corner. No, you already heard that guy 20 minutes ago before he ever came around the corner, and it makes it a much less reactive game. And I think that makes it a little less fun
Yeah,
for me.
That's always
But yeah.
been a bigger one of my issues with the game is the sound design of movement. Seriously, like why do I have duct tape on the bottom of my boots everywhere I walk? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. If I'm on a tile floor, a completely clean, slick tile floor, and I'm in rubber-soled combat boots, I'm making zero noise.
So
We'll
Steam,
find
Steam
out how this
Sound
goes with Steam
hopefully
Modding.
fix this, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Point
probably.
13
They did say
in
they're
March.
working on it.
0.13.
But
patch.
that all depends on what they actually code into that. Just because they upgrade the sound system doesn't mean that they're going to outright change the way sound works and the way and how far you can hear things. Honestly, if I sprinted up to a building and then slowed down and started moving quickly but quietly, somebody would hear me breathing heavily before they would hear my footsteps. And that's what reality would be. I'm not
It
saying
also
they
has to
should
do with
make
perception and
breathing
the
we,
type of
loud.
we
headset
can
you
revisit
buy.
this one on the next podcast.
Yeah.
After Steam Audio's been, see what they do with it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Steam Audio is going to be a big implementation. Those of you that have played Rainbow Six Siege, those of you that have played games like Hunt Showdown, okay. As far as I'm aware, I've not played Hunt Showdown, but I do have a good few years in Siege back in the day. These games do handle audio very, very well.
Hunt's
There's
great.
a couple of there's a couple of different systems. HRTF, which is head related transfer function, is essentially the way the audio is delivered is it mimics the audio being it mimics how your brain would hear it if it was real. Okay, because obviously we've got two ears and there is a slight, I know it's only so big, but there is a delay when sound reaches your ears. It does reach one ear before the other, and it does your head, the shape of your head, your ears, your hair, like your whole head, sort of your ears and your brain can decode that information. And this is a system which I think will be implemented into Tarkov. I think they're going to go down the sort of binaural HRTF route. And yeah, like you say, Hunt's audio is absolutely fantastic as far as I understand. So I think that's where Tarkov's going to go. So imagine Tarkov with Hunt Showdown audio. Not necessarily, it's not going to be the same sounds, but the implementation, the way audio is delivered to the player. So
question
about that.
From my chat, VoIP in game 0.13, it was due in 0.12. Do you think it's a good addition to the game? Will it have benefits and negatives, or is it all one or the other? What's your thoughts?
I would like it if you could turn it on and off at your choice, because
You can. There's already an
as a
option in
streamer-
the sound.
Yeah, as a streamer, you don't want to be running through a map and there's someone running shouting TOS words.
Is it a quick key, Atlas, or is
No,
it a
if
quick
you-
key option?
If you go to settings and sound at the very bottom, it says mute other players, not available in beta. So it's already something they've got in ready to go. For that exact reason. I mean, the amount of
like
people
a
that
toggle
come in
for
and
it.
are like, I'm gonna blast Magic Mike along interchange, shit like that. No
I mean,
one wants
I'm
that.
just going to be singing Christmas carols running around everywhere.
I think
Middle
a
of
lot
summer.
of players do want to team up with people. Like how many guys see on Reddit and stuff and Twitter and Facebook and playing. I went into lobby, I accepted the invite, I went and raided somebody and it insta-killed me. Or they want to find people to play with and stuff. They might actually try and use VoIP. I think you'll find a lot of people will actually try and use it. As a streamer, I'm concerned having it on, especially, and the bigger guys out here as well are going to get targeted and they're going to get spammed.
I would
Something
like a
downstream,
quick toggle
low
key.
latency, naughty words, or hardcore drum and bass Russian stuff, which would be quite funny. I would laugh at that. That'd be really good. But
Hardcore drum bass, yeah.
yeah, I think as a player scav, I'd have it on. I think to interact with random player scavs, one of these scav army and things, would be really cool.
Yeah, a hotkey
well,
to turn it off would
hotkey,
be
definitely.
fantastic.
A hotkey,
And that should be
fix it,
really
done.
easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really, really easy to implement, I imagine. They've probably already hopefully thought about that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Cool.
All right, well, is that everything?
I think, my
Um,
friends,
You
unless, go for it.
you guys heard about Twitch Prime?
Every time, man. Every time.
Switch Prime.
Carl's has got a sticky note on his monitor. Mention Twitch Prime at the end of the
I just
podcast, however.
I've just got 3 cups worth of coffee, the McDonald's stickers around mine.
McDonald's coffee
stickers on your what?
Mate, I might start doing that. Sounds pretty cool. But for real, guys, if nobody has anything burning, then yeah, guys, thank you all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Is anybody going to be staying on for game playings?
I'm personally finishing, but I also want to say
Me-
thank you as well. I think roughly Amoth will discuss it off stream, but roughly Amoth after maybe pre-point 13 patch notes, could do another podcast then, or certainly after point 13, we can do another podcast discussing things. But this would be a more common occurrence. I think the rest of the team will discuss that offline. But hopefully, chat enjoyed that. It was something I think we've done before. Dan Nye and Zakari's done before with Red 7. I think it's a cool thing to do, like incrementally. So thank you.
Absolutely. So what I'd like to do, guys, we're going to go from, as I see it, from top left to bottom right. Warfighter, my friend, if you could tell us your sort of schedule, when you're going to be online and where people could find you, that would be awesome.
All right, guys, to try and make it brief, I would just first like to apologize. So I was a full-time streamer at one point. It was some of the best 6 months I've ever had. It was a great time. Now life has gotten a little bit more busy. I do try and stream once a week, though, usually on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday. I'm going to be posting in my Discord and on Twitter in advance from now on what day of the weekend I will be streaming, and I usually stream Squad these days. But Tarkov will definitely be in the rotation as well. And I probably actually will be going live today here shortly. But that's going to be for some Squad. So if you guys are interested, stop on by.
And Militia, my friend, if you'd like to tell us what you're all about and what you're going to be up to.
Oh, it's me already. Our orders must be different. I wasn't prepared. I was going to write the thing out.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Yeah. So probably biggest announcement as far as me's concerned. Misa. As far as Misa concerned, I have been out of the Tarkov loop for a while because that game just. From playing it from no helmet alpha to now 10 hours a day all the time, it blew a fuse. And so I needed a long vacation from the worlds of EFT. And so I'm going to try to dedicate at least one day, maybe more, but at the very minimum one day to play EFT, because I know there's a lot of people in the team that enjoy watching that. And I know there's a lot of people that are a part of my community that enjoy watching that. So, we're going to get back into it. Other than that, I've been doing the vroom. So you can see I've got pieces back here for my race simulator we're putting together. So that'll be fun.
That's a hell of a race simulator.
Yeah, we can even put some slab shit in there so everybody doesn't feel so out of the loop. I'll fucking drive in a tracksuit or something if it makes you feel better. Other than that, you can probably tell things on my screen have been going fucky, so that's me trying to figure out our overlays to try to make everything more polished. So I apologize if I have a distraction going fucking monochrome and off and on and off and on. We'll figure it out, and it will be a premiere Tarkov podcast with some of the worst personalities in the Tarkov community.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean me specifically. And but other than that, thank you guys. I'm glad I caught the end of it here, and looking towards really nice polished shit here soon. So carry on. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, there's an alternative energy drink solution that I can't mention. Okay. There may be a person in this chat who has a competitive energy drink that may or may not be better or worse than the energy drink that I have. Also, you may be able to use a particular code from a particular streamer that will get you a particular discount from that. So it's up to you to choose. You're the consumer, but mine's better.
I drink tea, by the way. Just
yeah. Profit sponsored by PG Tips.
PG Tips, yep.
Profit, my friend, tell us a bit about you, what you're going to be up to, and when you're next going to be live.
I'm a very busy boy this year. I think most of you guys know, but chat may not know this. I stream Monday to Friday in the evenings, 5 till 10ish, roughly, weekends all day. But recently I started a degree, so that's taken part of my time up this year. I'm away for 6 months in May time, doing my dolphin shaving, fun times, trust me. So I'll be busy streaming, working up to that point there, but watch this space. I'll keep you guys updated. But everyone knows I'm primarily a Tarkov content creator, throwing other games occasionally. I'm also obviously in this amazing stream team called 4as1. So yeah, that's me. Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't hear you over Vape Nation over there.
Kais has a.
I think you're up next.
But I'm just waiting for Darth Vader to roll out of that camera.
No vapes next podcast.
No vapes. Vape free.
Vape free.
This is a vape free environment.
That's right.
Say I can't dip. I quit.
Carl's, my dude. Tell us about you. What? Fuck's sake.
That's all you need. That's all you need to know. That's it.
All right, let's moving on. Now, Carl's, when will you be live, buddy? When will you next be playing Tarkov?
I basically stream every Monday to a Friday from 18:30 CET, Central Europe time, and basically open end just until as long as I feel like in the mood to it. In the regular week, I'm going for like 8 to 9 hours on a daily basis. So if you want to have a good time, a good laugh, feel free to say hello. Plus,
The best laugh on Twitch.
Best laugh on Twitch.
apparently.
True fact.
And we need one more follow to the 2K mark, so I would really much appreciate it.
There you go.
I
That's
just
how you do it.
Debated.
Need 2 more now.
2 more now. Awesome. Congratulations. And Atlas, my friend, tell us about you. When are you next going to be live?
Guys, I am primarily a Tarkov streamer. I'm a military veteran of the Marine Corps, so kind of whacked out of my mind. I'm jaded a little bit, so you come in, I'll be really chill, and then the next minute I'm like yelling at chat. So just get ready for that. I stream every day. I'm a
entertaining.
full-time streamer, and I'll be live tonight if you want to come check it out. Thanks.
Nice. Gunvash, same to you, my friend.
So I'm fairly much like Prophet over there. I'm very busy. This month, or this year, this whole thing, like all of it's getting really crazy for me. So I'll have times where I'm going away for like 2-3 days at a time, weeks at a time, but not nothing too crazy. Outside of that, I stream pretty consistently daily on the weekdays during like 6:30. What did he call it? Central Europe time or whatever till about 10:30. So I try to get a good 4-hour stream each day, and then the weekends it's like he said, open-ended, just fucking kind of until I'm tired and when I start. So typically long streams, anything from like 10 to 12 hours. So yeah, that's me.
Sounds good. Gremlin?
I also primarily a team. I can't fucking talk. Tarkov streamer.
Don't worry, man. No
Primarily
pressure.
a Tarkov
No
streamer.
pressure.
I will be streaming other games, but at the moment I don't have a set schedule because I have IRL priorities going on. But I am in the works of getting one set back up, more than likely afternoon, evening times. So yeah, and that'll be most every day, other than Tuesdays because it's beer and darts day.
Beer and darts.
Beer and darts.
Yeah,
That's so fucking British, isn't it?
So
Beer and
British.
darts day.
Exactly.
but yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Yeah, I guess me. Guys, how kind of you to ask? Guys, you know, I'm on Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. UK time. Always Tarkov, 99.9% Tarkov, apart from when the servers are down like this morning. We did enjoy some golf with your friends. I played golf with my 8 friends, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. So thank you all for that. But yeah, guys, I'm Monday to Friday, as you all know, and we'll be smashing some Tarkov. Going to be keeping it going, keeping that train rolling straight up to patch 13. And from everybody here at Forward as One, it's been a real pleasure having you all. Just want to thank everybody in the team for coming by. It's been great. We were saying this at the very start as well. We don't get together enough and chat and stuff like that. So it's been a really great opportunity and a really great experience, guys. So please, if you're in the chat, get some emotes in the chat. Let's get some spam in the chat. And guys, look forward to the next podcast. We'll obviously be announcing that when it comes up, most likely a bit closer to patch 13. Okay.
Nice.
Everyone happy? Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yep.
Guys, thank you all so much. To Carl's, I believe you said you was going to be playing some Escape from Tarkov tonight,
Yeah.
or no? Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
99.9999% is Tarkov.
Maybe,
Escape from Tarkov.
yeah.
Takale's plays Escape from Tarkov.
No way, man.
I thought he was
No
a
way,
hand
man.
simulator main.
Bye-bye.
No, The Sims.
I thought it was a beard growing stream.
Oh, The Sims? Okay, I love that.
Sims, good stuff, guys. Have an
All right.
amazing evening. We're
too.
going to be putting up the screen for now. Have an amazing time, guys. Stay safe. And
Good night,
we'll
everybody.
see you-
Have a good one, everyone. Take
Later.
good
We'll
care.
see ya.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Thank you, each and every one of you beautiful people, for being in that podcast. I actually had a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed the time we had.